Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to SpawnCast episode 105. It's a couple people here. We're missing Max. He's doing some moving, I think, and then Sean is doing some family stuff, but got a couple other people here with us. So we'll have some fun tonight and talk about all kinds of interesting stuff that have popped up that have people talking about a couple games that we were talking about a while ago, I believe, that didn't pan out in December, but it could be coming back around. So let me go around here. We have Evan. Evan's with us tonight. What's going on, man?
Not much. Just pulling me away from freaking Super Dragon Ball Heroes. So.
Yeah, we'll talk about that a little bit too, because that game's weird. But
it is. I played it too.
And we got Jordan. Jordan's with us.
How's it going? Glad to be here.
Nate. Nate's here with us tonight as well. What's going on, Nate?
Not too much.
And then of course you just heard him. OJ Player Essence. What's going on, man?
What's up, man? I've been playing games this week.
Okay, very good, very good. Let's just start with what we've been playing. Evan, you were playing Super Dragon Ball. I haven't played it too. I couldn't find the game around me, by the way. I looked everywhere for it, and no one had a copy of the game. GameStop had one, and it was for a pre-order customer. Best Buy didn't have it. Walmart didn't have it. Those other places, yeah. So nobody had it. I don't know if that game will be rare, if it's just my area, but it was weird that GameStop didn't have it. So I got it digitally.
They intentionally shipped a very small amount of copies of the game.
Really? Oh man.
Yeah, because they didn't think anybody's gonna buy the game. It's such a weird type of game, you know.
Yeah, I guess that's true. It came with cards apparently too, like physically. I don't play the card game at all, so I don't know. But I think it's only in like really Japan, right? Like Dragon Ball Hero stuff.
The arcade game, yeah. The card game is here, but yeah, not a lot of people play it. Really, it's not like as popular. But I remember back when it started, it was somewhat popular, and people still like it. But the game is interesting. But yeah, it does come with the actual physical pack of cards. I actually pre-ordered mine like the day before it came out. I pre-ordered it, and then they had it at my Best Buy. So
okay. Yeah, I had a hard time. I just got it digitally because I was like, this might just be one of those games that I'll just play like now and then whenever I get a chance. Because it looks like it's going to be a lot of collecting going on in this game. But Evan, you were interested in this to the point where you asked me about it while I was playing it because you were curious after the whole Dokkan Battle thing on the cell phones. I'm sure you were interested. What are your thoughts here? Because you sent me a message and you were like, I have no idea what I'm doing right now.
Well, I asked you how many times up till that point have you said what the hell's going on?
A lot.
But, and I'm starting to figure it out, and I'm starting to figure out deck building, and it's not like an easy game. Like, it's not just like you see basic stats and you build your team, and that's just very simple. This is extremely in-depth from what I've been looking into for like what certain characters can do, how you build your teams, how they interact, knowing where they need to be placed on the map. But it's interesting because it's basically boiled down to 5 rounds, and that's it. Like, you have to beat your opponent in 5 rounds. And knowing what your allies can do, whether they burst into huge power at like round 3, and how important that'll be if you have someone else who can force them into a super. It's like the crazy depth to it is there. And I've gotten pretty far. Actually, 6 minutes before this, I actually pulled Super Saiyan 4 Broly, and I've been trying to play around with him.
Man, they got crazy with the Dragon Ball Heroes lore. Like, yeah, that's all over the place. They did like a special anime series for it too, and that makes no sense either. So it's all over the place.
Yeah, but it's starting to get fun, and I'm starting to see really the point in it, and it's difficult as a card game, but it's definitely the next evolution because they do have the physical card game, but the elements to this can only be done in a game, really. So like, it just works better, I think.
I see the super chats. Well, I actually read through those at 9:30 after we're done talking about the games we're playing. So in about 25 minutes or so. But I see Matthew Hammond, thanks, and then Andy Ackerman back at it again this weekend with the 25, saying "word homies" with a question mark. Andy, it's good to see you, Andy. Thanks as always. The past couple weekends, thank you, appreciate it. So yeah, I haven't played it, Evan. I feel like they basically threw. Is this how it plays in Japan in the arcades?
From what I've seen in video, very similar. Yeah, but it's that little slight advancement to it. I don't know how many of the pictures I looked at were real or like some kind of idea, but like you almost get like an RFI chip card that has your character on it, and you can like go to arcades with it, put it into the machine, and then actually play.
Yeah, actually, like with the arcade machines in Japan, you can buy cards like right there.
Yeah.
Like you can buy the cards and then you actually put the cards on there and you manipulate, like you move the cards and stuff like to play on certain things. Kind of like you've been playing it, so you know like there's certain parts like the super moves where you actually have to like use the analog stick and to
it's like a touch.
Yeah. That you do that type of stuff in the arcade game. Like you kind of move the card and do stuff like that. So they tried to manipulate it to where it's like kind of getting that experience. I guess if you're playing in portable mode, you can do the same stuff like with use your finger.
Oh yeah, touchscreen's fully functional and it has all the shapes and everything for it.
I feel like they just basically threw the entire game that's been updated to this point at us, and they were like, here you go ahead and learn it. So maybe that's why it feels kind of overwhelming at first.
And then they hit us with a 2-minute tutorial that made no sense.
Yeah, I know.
Like, go have fun.
It was like move your characters here, and I did, and then all of a sudden everything exploded. You know, like super moves everywhere and everything. I was like, I mean, that was cool to watch. I don't know how I did it though. And then like getting people to transform, I didn't understand either. So
that's what I started to get into. I actually have a Goku Black and Zamasu, so I can actually do the fusion. I have the perfect cards. So at turn 2 or 3, I can just put both on the field, and then they'll become merged Zamasu with like all kinds of bonuses. And stuff.
That's cool. Yeah, like you have a Goku that turns into Super Saiyan 4.
Yep.
One that turns to Super Saiyan Blue, and I was trying to figure out, and then I realized you read the cards, and it'll kind of tell you the conditions.
You have to read them.
Yeah.
You 100% have to read them. And then in story mode, you can actually alter what they have. So even if you have a card that does like a super power up at turn 3, if you have an item, it can change that to something completely different. I can make a character that's not Saiyan turn into a giant ape, like if you have the right item for it. So it's just weird.
Yeah, it's I think I'm gonna keep playing it just to see what how much further it goes. I mean, it's 1,100 cards or something like that to collect. So I'm gonna be playing this for a while to get all of those cards. The story doesn't make any sense, and it's not very good. But otherwise, it's just the idea of it. It plays online too, so
and you can do 3-on-3 battles, 3 people versus 3 people.
Yeah, and there's a ton of content, man. That's the thing. Like, there's so much stuff in the game. I mean, the presentation's kind of like PS2-ish. Definitely like high resi, like PS2 type of game. The presentation is not great.
It's kind of like Budokai 2 is what it reminds me of.
Yeah. But the content in there, like when I was playing, I was like, yo, this is crazy how much content's in here. And it's fun. As a card game, you can see the depth. I mean, you can see why somebody would be able to like get into this and get into it like for like a long amount of time. So I'm planning on doing Let's Plays on it because I think it's actually really cool, like playing, bite-sized chunks, like a few battles here and then, doing that because it's actually pretty fun.
Yeah, I'm enjoying it for that. What about you, Nate? What you been up to?
A bunch of random stuff. Let's see.
I think I played 1 or 2 of the games you played. I think
probably.
So.
I started to play SteamWorld Quest: Hand of Gilgamesh.
I just got SteamWorld Quest today. I haven't installed it yet because they sent a thing that was like, "Oh, you've been approved. Here you go." So
I played like 10 minutes of it.
Oh, really? Okay, yeah, I got to play some of that. I should ask you, are you able to say anything about it yet?
I think it's still under embargo until like the end of the month.
Okay, so I just wanted to make sure before you started saying something about it. Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm gonna check that out too because I wanted to try that one out big time. But you played. What was the Contra game you played?
Oh, what? Mech Extermination Force?
Yeah, Mech Extermination Force. How many bosses did you beat in that thing?
I think I defeated like 6 so far.
I think I've defeated 9 of them. I actually like that game for being $12. I don't know, it's a pretty fun game.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely worth the price. I mean, it's hard.
It's not easy, but that's the thing. It's supposed to be. I mean, I think there's 14 bosses in it. I think.
I mean, it doesn't really punish you for failing. It's just kind of like, oh, you didn't get stars on your rating. Yeah. Whatever. Just continue to retry until you learn the pattern and whatnot.
Yeah, it's Contra mixed with like Shadow of the Colossus. So I like it. I think it's fun. I don't know for a $12 game, it's fun.
Yeah, I would have liked like a roll or a dodge or something because I kind of feel vulnerable at certain times, and I'm just kind of standing like, well, I'm going to get stepped on because I can't move fast enough.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah,
I feel like I need a dodge though. Like that's the thing I ran into with it. I'm like, I need something. Like I need to be able to like roll out of the way or just something I could do to move real quick. But otherwise, it was fun. I think like I said, I think it's a fun game to try out at least. What what other weird games you've been playing?
I played yet another Zombie Defense HD, which is yet another zombie defense game where you just shoot zombies with a variety of guns and put up very bad structures to protect yourself around a lamppost.
Is that that's like a tower defense game, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not too into those kind of games, so I don't know.
Usually when HD is in the title, it's because they pulled it from somewhere. Did that come from like cell phones or something?
I think it was like on Steam like a year ago or something.
Okay.
So, and then the highlight has been Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Trilogy.
Interesting. I have not played one of those, and it's probably been a long time. How is that?
It's good.
Is it? Yeah. I mean, it's just Phoenix Wright, pretty much just brought over, right? Like,
Yeah, it's just the 3 Phoenix Wright games in HD.
man, I really want to try those games again. They never clicked with me for some reason. So maybe I'll try them again when it comes back around here. That's out on the 9th, right? That's out in like 3 days, I think, right?
Yeah, it comes out on Tuesday.
Yeah, see, maybe I will try those out because I think it's like $30 and it's 3 games.
Yeah, for the price, I mean, it's definitely a good value. Which, I mean, people will be shocked. It's Capcom offering value on Switch.
I know, that's shocking, right? Well, it's not physical, right? They're not doing a physical
No, it's
copy.
just digital only.
See, I bet you that Resident Evil 4. I bet you all those Resident Evil games were all digital. Resident Evil 4 would be like $20.
Yeah, Capcom's crazy with that though, because like Dragon's Dogma is $29.99, and like you get everything. It's such and it's all on one card. It's such a good value and like good. That's awesome. And then Capcom does the stuff with Resident. I have no idea. It's like they throw a dart at a board and say, "Hey, we're gonna."
Yeah,
do
they're
something
weird.
something cool.
They're weird, man. I don't get Capcom sometimes.
I don't get them at all.
I almost feel like there's internal teams that have more power at selecting what they do, because I always feel like the Dragon's Dogma team kind of after it didn't really work out early in its life, they were just like, screw it, let's just have fun, see who will buy it for cheap, and try to get it in people's lives because it's actually a really good game.
Yeah.
Did am I the one that played Yoshi?
Nope.
Jordan played Yoshi too.
I've watched people play Yoshi.
Oh, nice. What do you think about Yoshi, man?
Well, so I streamed. I've been streaming it all week, and I beat it. I did a 5-hour stream last night, finishing it.
How long is the game?
It's decently length. Like, I would say it probably took me, I don't know, days together, between 8 and 10 hours, probably at max.
Okay.
And that's only doing minimal side stuff. That's not doing like everything or not doing nothing. The game was good. I liked it a lot. Very cute. I would say it's kind of on the lines of Kirby, where it's like maybe not worth the $60, but I felt like I got more out of it than I got out of Kirby.
It's easy, right?
It's very easy. Yeah. There's a few challenging stuff, levels towards the end. Other than that, I think the boss fights are great. They're a highlight. I think they're really fun. And it's a very cute, well-made game. I would say that. It's very good. I liked it a lot more than Woolly World. So
Okay. Yeah, I need to play more of that. I think I've only played it for like 2 or 3 hours now. And I would figure I'll just play through it. It is... I feel like I kind of go, I don't know, I'm playing it and it looks cool. Like the art style is cool and everything. It's kind of blurry, but we established that in the demo, so we already kind of knew about that. But like art style wise looks good. I just feel like it is easy to the point where I'm just kind of just rolling through it, I guess. I don't know.
It didn't ever get challenging until literally the last hour of the game. There was a few challenging levels. It was very easy ride up to that point.
What I was hoping is it would do something like what Mario Odyssey did, which is playing through Mario Odyssey is easy, but then you get to the end game stuff and it's much harder. I was like, the whole time I'm playing through Yoshi, I'm like, maybe there's like an end game where it's much harder or something. There
is level challenges for certain levels. A lot of it's like, hey, go find this in a level. Hey, go find the hidden Poochie, stuff like that. But after I beat the game, it did say that there's new challenges and actual new boss challenges, which I haven't tried, but it did unlock a bunch of new stuff at the end of the game.
Okay. So. Yeah, I need to play more of that though.
It's a cute game.
Yeah, I think it is. I think it's that Yoshi is basically Kirby, like you said, from last year. It's gonna be a game that people probably forget about as we get into like the back half of the year when everything comes out. But
if it was $40, it'd be a solid pickup. I would say it's really worth it at that price.
That's how I felt about Kirby last year. Exact same thing. And a lot of people forgot about Kirby. It kind of disappeared after we got into Pokemon and Smash and stuff. So it's this back half of this year is even more packed. I think people are just going to forget about Yoshi, and I don't know if it'll drop in price. Did Kirby ever really get down in price at all?
I don't know. Maybe
it's got a few discounts, but it's still Kirby sold steady throughout the whole year. I mean, I think it's over two. Last time we heard, it's like at 2-point-something million. So yeah, but I'm not sure if Yoshi's going to do as well. I know Yoshi does better here in the West. In Japan, Kirby does way better than Yoshi. So I think Yoshi didn't do as well in Japan as Kirby did.
Towards the holiday season, I could see it really picking up just a little bit to stay in the charts a little bit, especially if there's some new Switch revisions or new people hopping over. It's definitely a good holiday game. I would say be a good
I could
seller
see
anytime.
that being like a Black Friday special at some point. Like,
Yeah.
like they take it's like a $40 game on Black Friday or a $30 game or something from like a Best Buy or a GameStop just to fill out their Switch discounts.
Mhm.
That would be an easy one to do that with. So I think it's going to be similar to Kirby though when that came out. So it should be pretty cool. I also played Darksiders. Yeah, because
I played that as well.
the embargo went up on Sunday for me. Yeah, so I played Darksiders. You played it as well, OJ, on the Switch. What do you think of it?
I thought it was really good. I played the original Darksiders for a bit on I think on the 360. And I mean, I didn't have as positive impression about the game back then when I played it like a decade ago, just because of some of the issues with the game. But I remember being really excited for Darksiders 2. And I beat Darksiders 2, did not beat the first one. Played on about halfway through Darksiders 3. Like the game with the update, much better. But now that I've been playing Darksiders 1, I feel that this is probably the best Darksiders game. I'm not sure if you feel the same way, but
Darksiders 1, yeah.
Darksiders 1 is the best Darksiders game so far for me.
I played and beat it in 2 days when it came out on the 360 back in the day, and I really liked that game. I got it again when the War Master Edition came out on PC, and then I just got it again now. And yeah, that Darksiders 1 is my favorite Darksiders game. Yes.
Yeah, it's a really good game. Just the style of it, how they do like the combat, like the whole level layout, like the whole Zelda stuff that's inspired by it, and how like you can lift people into the air, the different type of weapons and combinations of attributes and skills you can get is absolutely fantastic. And I'm having a lot more fun with this version because I only played it on the 360 back then, but this one runs a lot better, a lot smoother and everything. Yep. So it's definitely a fantastic game. And I'm still working my way through it.
Yeah, Digital Foundry, the whole thing was showing it was like 60 frames and everything. So it was pretty good.
Yeah, before I even watched that, people were asking me, okay, well, what's the frame rate? I'm like 60 with dips. That's what I said at the beginning. And because you can feel some of the dips in there.
Yeah.
So 60 with dips. I don't think the quality mode is even worth, in my opinion, it's not even worth playing.
No, I just do the performance mode.
Yeah. It's not even worth playing because it's just like, why would you do this to yourself with this type of game with all these enemies? I mean, you probably want a good frame rate with it. So
what's Nate? You played it too, right? You played Darksiders.
Yeah.
Yeah. What'd you think about all that? Wait, did you play Darksiders back in the day?
Yeah, I beat it on the 360.
I was curious to see some people's first impressions on it, but I think most people had at least tried it at some point in time back in the day. But you did some comparisons on performance and like the
performance and the quality mode.
Yeah, because we talked a bit about how we thought performance mode was just what it was, basically the Wii U mode, essentially what it was on the Wii U, but they just brought it over to the Switch and got better performance out of it. And then the performance mode was like the PlayStation 4 version almost that runs a 60, and it just cut the frame rate in half. I don't know if you're through looking at it more, if you came up to a different conclusion with that, but that's kind of what it felt like to me when we were talking about it.
Yeah, I mean, kind of. I mean, you get about 1080p for the high-end quality, 30 frames a second locked, which isn't really a bad way to play because it's a locked 30 frames a second. I'd rather have it locked 30 than have something like fluctuate between 60 to 45 or anything. In performance mode, like OJ and you guys were saying, it's pretty much 60, or Digital Foundry got it down to maybe a 50. But yeah. I mean, I'll take the hit in resolution if it means a higher frame rate. But having the option for the player is good because neither option is really bad.
No.
You get what you want. You want to get better visuals and a lock 30 frames a second. If that's all right with you, then you have that option. If you want a slight, cut in resolution, but 60 frames a second, there's an option for you. So, I mean, good on THQ for actually giving players a choice.
I do like that we're getting a lot of these performance or quality modes, and I hope they keep doing that because that's something THQ Nordic keeps dropping a lot of options into their games when they bring them out. Even Sphinx has a ton of options from the PC, so they keep dropping them in. I'll be happy with that. I think that's everything I played though this week. Did I miss anyone else? Jordan, you play anything else other than Yoshi, or you just steamroll that?
I played a lot of something else beside Yoshi. It's a little game called Borderlands Game of the Year Enhanced Edition, which is a game came out almost 10 years ago. Borderlands, one of my favorite games, and I was lucky enough to be at PAX during the panel when they announced the third game. They gave everyone their copies of all the games in 4K, enhanced, all that stuff. So I've been playing it on the Xbox One X. It is great. The changes they made are great. They actually had, I forget the name of the other team, but when the game starts up, there's another game company that pops up on there that I guess went in and did the enhanced version.
Is that Blind Squirrel?
Yeah, that I
Yeah.
knew it had squirrel in the title. That's them. So they went in, they enhanced a lot of stuff, added a lot of cool new features that actually helped the game out from the other games, like having the mini map. A lot more small details were fixed. The game runs pretty solid. There is some screen tearing still. That wasn't completely fixed. It comes and goes. Like sometimes it runs smooth, and then in certain areas with like a lot going on, it starts tearing up. But that's just how the original game ran too. It's great. I'm having a blast playing through it again. Working on a big video for it, so I'm just trying to get through that whole game again.
I'd be curious how that works with because the Xbox One X supports FreeSync, which is supposed to eliminate that, like screen tearing. I wonder if that would help that game. Has anyone tried that? That would be cool to see if like FreeSync on like a FreeSync monitor with the Xbox One X would actually eliminate that screen tearing.
Be
Yeah.
interesting, yeah. Because like I said, it's there, and then sometimes it's not there. Like there's a good chunk of the game where, like, at least when I first started playing it for the first few hours, didn't happen once, and then in certain areas it picks up like a good amount, but then it goes away pretty quickly again. But it runs smoothly. I'm having a blast playing through it again, and I'm really happy because this is what I've always wanted this game to have, some sort of transfer like the other games did, like put it on current consoles, get an updated version for Steam, something awesome for it. So I'm glad they finally did something nice for it.
I might go back and I might grab that, especially a physical copy, because like I said, they seem harder to get right now.
They are hard to find. I haven't seen any in stores. I've been reading the comment section go by. Some people saying like their stores only got like up to 4 copies. So I definitely want to pick a physical copy up myself. But it's great. I'm loving it.
It's been a long time since I played the first Borderlands, so maybe I should go back and check that out again. It was fun. I liked the first Borderlands a lot, even though I know people like the second one more. Technically, the second one is better, but something about the first one, it was just because
first one means more to me, and I love the first one to death. It's my favorite out of all of them. But the second is the best game. It's the best built game. It's the most stuff to do. It's the more fleshed out game. And I will never say that the first game is better than the second one. I like the first one better.
Yeah, maybe it's nostalgia. I don't know.
Well, the first one was something completely different back then. I mean, if you started following the game back in like 2008 or like IGN, the old interviews and stuff like that, it was just like, yo, like, what was this? Like, this is a different type of game. We never saw anything like it, like this type of looter shooter. I mean, the closest thing was like maybe like Mass Effect, but even then Mass Effect was not the same thing with the multiplayer. So I never saw anything like that, 10 years ago. So
I mean, you remember the first trailer when it came out. I mean, that was before they changed the art style, and it was like, yeah, we're gonna need a lot of guns. This trailer just shows off a lot of guns, but it looked like any other shooter game. And then somewhere in development, they're like, hey, let's try this, and it stuck, and they liked it, and it became its own personal thing.
I'm pretty sure, Jordan, back when you were like, what, 3 or 4 when that game came out, your mom, did she buy that for you? Or
yes, when I was 3 and 4. Yeah, exactly. That's when I got
4 years old or so? Okay.
Yeah, just entering preschool. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, how'd you get her to buy the game for you? That's what I want to know.
Oh, no, I just said, Mom, this game is, it's like Mario. And she's like, oh, okay. She doesn't look at the cover. She just puts some money on the counter.
Oh man, let me go through super chats. We can start with some of our topics actually here, because there is a lot of stuff that happened this week. Matthew Hammond said, I wish Nintendo would have released a fake direct on April 1st announcing oh man, could they do that? The who you call it that was announced or that's doing the Joker movie?
What, Joaquin Phoenix?
Yeah, Joaquin Phoenix. Could they do that? Put him in as the Smash Bros. Ultimate as the Joker. Oh man, I don't know if that trailer was actually really good. By the way,
I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm liking that. I was not expecting that.
DC's getting good at their stuff now. Aquaman's great. I just saw Shazam. That's great.
Yeah, Shazam was pretty good. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm interested in that Joker movie though. It looks like it didn't look like a superhero movie or supervillain movie at all when they were showing it. So I'm interested in it. Different take. Andy Ackerman, of course. Then we have Big Yoshi with $1, no message. Riku Key 2. With everyone trying to get into the gaming market now, think we'll see another video game market crash like in '83. Also, E3 is 2 months away. Hype. E3 is getting close. It's getting very close, actually. It's getting dangerously close. But we see other game. The only thing that would really make the market crash again are these live services, I would think, and these companies having to beat their numbers every single year, and they have to come up with new microtransactions and ways to do that. So that's the only thing I could think of, is that they really struggle and have an issue there with like live service stuff, I would say. But maybe, I don't know, do you guys think there's anything else that would cause a gaming crash right now? Streaming games, would that damage? I don't know.
I think it's gonna probably be like these bigger corporations like an EA and Activision going too big for their britches. Like they're gonna keep expecting too much to the point where they're never gonna meet those expectations. These companies need to really scale back what they need to do. Obviously, they're gonna lose investor money at that point, but they need to scale back, start using less of a budget to produce these games, not just letting everything go wild for like these big AAA games and then banking on these DLCs that come out or microtransactions. They need to focus on what made them successful in the first place, and that's what's gonna, I think that comes after the crash. I think if we do get a crash, it's because these companies go too far. I don't think the streaming stuff, I think that'll have its own crash, but it won't ruin the market.
Okay, yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, well, we get to talk about EA a bit later tonight. Oh man, that's funny. David Valdez actually with the big 25 saying, "Give my weekly support. Great video, Spawnwave on the Joy-Con issue. I thought I was the only one. Due to that issue, I've been playing my modded Sega Game Gear PSP and my Nomad. You have a Game Gear and a Nomad. You don't see Nomads much anymore. And if it's modded, does that mean it has the screen in it? Because you can change the LCD out or the screen out and have a much nicer one. But the PSP is like the best system to mod at this point. So if you got a modded PSP, you're probably good. But yeah, the Joy-Con video, it was interesting to check it out some to see what the problem was with the drifting. Mark says, no more physical Starlink figures, and the game sold best on Switch. Why not make amiibo scannable as other crossover characters? That game should have just been a Star Fox game. They should have just, Nintendo and them should have come together, and they should just been all Star Fox. Like, I don't know why that game was on other platforms, because I don't think it sold much of anything on other platforms.
I think that the game, they wanted to do it before this, which was probably even more of in development, right? And I know that they really wanted to do the Star Fox stuff, and Reggie kind of suggested that they do that. But I think that they tried the Toys to Life thing. I made a video on Starlink too, and personally I feel that there's just, I mean, John, you talked about it too. The game's just not complete. Like, you've got to buy all these toys or the digital. It's like you buy the most expensive version of the game and it's still incomplete. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, you buy $79.99 for the Star Fox thing at launch, or it was how much?
I think it was 75 for me. It was in the 70s. It was in the 70s though.
Yeah, $70-something with the Star Fox. Oh, you don't have everything. That's stupid.
Yeah, apparently there's like a gravity gun. I never had it in the game, and there are parts where it was like, shoot it with your gravity gun.
Yeah, there's all sorts of cool weapons that you have to buy digitally. Like, you can't just unlock them. If the game was complete and normal from the beginning, I think it would have done a lot better. Or like you're saying, John, if it was just a Star Fox game to begin with and all the content, it would have done better. So
you would think that since that's an Ubisoft game, that after how successful Mario and Rabbids was, that Nintendo would have been like, listen, we're going to fund as much as we can for this game. Let's make it a Star Fox game with your other characters, and let's try something new here again, since that game did so well. Even if it was later in development, I feel like Nintendo should have stepped in and worked with them on that, and that game probably would have done a lot better and have seen more longevity if it would have gone that way.
Oh yeah, I think it would have worked out.
Structure was busted though. Like, they would have had to blow the structure up, because I wouldn't want it to be a Star Fox game. Then there's like exclusive weapons and stuff like that. So the structure of the game and how it works is busted. So yeah, I agree that would have been cool, but then they would have had. I think they would have had to change quite a number of things in how the game operates.
Sure. Yeah, they would have had to come in and really change it. But that team probably could have made a good Star Fox game alongside Nintendo. So yeah, I mean, you never know. They still could.
I think they still could. That engine, Snowdrop engine's good. Like, they can do it. They can make a Starlink 2 and actually make it like with everything in there, because the gameplay is solid. It just needed a little bit more variety, which it's getting. It's getting more of that, and it needed just more of the Star Fox stuff. Like, you can use all the different Star Fox team members and all that. And the game is solid. The groundwork is there for a good Star Fox game or a good Starlink 2.
Yeah. I think they could do that. So who knows? Maybe Ubisoft and Nintendo decide to do that. That'd be cool. I'd be in for that. No more Toys to Life stuff though. I think the Toys to Life stuff, I think that's passed us by at this point.
It's dead.
Absolutely, it's dead.
I feel like the amiibo stuff's kind of slowed down, kind of recently. I don't know. I don't know a lot of people that go out and. I don't know how many people get really excited for amiibos like they used to. Like, when the amiibos first came out, man, those things were crazy.
Nintendo hasn't really been using it like they used to too. Like, I mean, like Smash Brothers, like, they've completely toned down on their marketing for Amiibo for Smash. It's just like, okay, we have them here, but they were promoting it hardcore with Smash Brothers back in 2014. Like, whereas now they're just like, oh well, they're there if you want them, but they're not promoting it like they used to promote Amiibo with Smash.
Sure. Yeah. Let's move over here. We'll come back to the super chats in a bit. Let's move over to some of the topics, because I talked to a couple of you about the Labo VR stuff, because that was really interesting. Randomly the other night, Nintendo said, hey, that Labo VR kit at the end of this month, April 25th, you'll be able to play through all of Breath of the Wild, apparently, with the VR goggles being compatible. I don't really know how well it's going to work or how it's going to work. And then you can also play mini games. I think it was like 3 mini games in Mario Odyssey. And I saw that and I said, what? That's kind of surprising, because it's so early on in the Labo VR's life, whereas before it was months and months after the Variety Kit came out that Mario Kart was added in. They're going right away. It's like Mario and Zelda. So let me ask this. I know there's people who I talked to here who were not interested in Labo VR. Are you now interested in Labo VR because they're doing Zelda Breath of the Wild in VR?
Yes and no.
Not
Yes
really.
and no.
not really, but I'll try. I mean, I'm a content creator, so.
Well, it's $40, right, to get into the Labo VR goggles headset. I wonder if people are going to look at that and say, you know what, it's worth $40 to me to try it out and see what Zelda looks like in VR.
I'm gonna try it just because it's so cheap, So I'll try it, but I'm not a VR dude at all. Like I really dislike VR. So
Yeah, so I've heard from your podcast. Yeah, so I've heard. The only thing, like, I'm interested for the fact of what other games could use it. Like, this gives me hope that, like, for a Metroid Prime trilogy VR or Metroid Prime 4 has VR sections, like, that would be more interesting to me than, a Mario or Zelda in VR. But I'm curious that they're jumping right off the bat with, like, hey, you can play these games in VR, and check it out.
Yeah, it makes me wonder if they're a bit more serious about VR than we originally thought they were going to be. It's interesting for them to take what are some of their best-selling games on the Switch and all of a sudden throwing it at Labo VR.
Mm-hmm.
It's a bit weird to me. Let me ask Nate. Nate, are you interested now in VR?
I mean, I'm no more interested in it now than I was before the announcements.
Okay, so you're still not really that interested then, because you weren't really interested. I mean, I guess you were curious about it.
It's more of a curiosity thing, but I think that's even the case now for most people. It's, I can try this Mario Odyssey content. I can try Breath of the Wild in VR, but then after 10 minutes, you're going to get that fill, and you're probably never going to touch it again.
That's my thought here is, you have to still hold it up to your face, right?
Yeah, you're supposed to play like this, and like, how do you?
Yeah,
like, I don't understand how that part works.
Joy-Cons have the gyrometer. That's going to be the Joy-Cons measure your motion, so you can't play it without that unless you have it strapped to your face and you have a Pro Controller. And
there has to be some strap now they have to sell, because it doesn't make sense.
I'm pretty sure the Switch itself has gyro as well, like the actual tablet does. I'm pretty sure it does. Because there's actual Labo parts with the Variety Kit that I have where you don't have the Joy-Cons attached, but the tablet itself still uses gyro. So that's why I originally thought that as well, Nate. Then I remembered that I had some of those Labo mini games that use the tablet itself in like a gyro tilting like fashion. That's what I thought though. I was like, well, do you have to hold it there, or because I'm thinking people are just going to fashion up a band or something, right? Like to hold it.
Well, doesn't Nintendo have to do it? Nate, I mean, John, doesn't Nintendo have to make you can't play Zelda like this.
I mean, they should sell at least a plastic shell if they go. I mean, that's where people say, does this mean Nintendo serious about VR? No. If they were, it'd be a plastic shell. Instead, it's a cardboard box that you put a Switch into, and they say, hold it up to your face like goggles and play a game. Yeah, I'm going to play realistically, these are gamers. Nobody has the arm strength to hold up to their face for an hour.
I don't know. OJ's looking pretty jacked right now.
I've been training all my life for this, guys. I can't wait for my moment.
His asymmetrics are through the roof.
What if you lay on your back though, Nate, and you're like holding it that way? You know what I mean? Like lay down on like a couch or a bed or something, and you're holding it to your face that way.
It's still stupid. I think it's brilliant marketing by Nintendo because they have people interested. Like, oh my god, I'm gonna spend $40 on this VR kit, the introduction one. I'm gonna play Breath of the Wild in VR. And 20 minutes later, that kit's going into the closet, and they're never playing Breath of the Wild again in VR.
You realize that's just Labo in general, right? The variety kit was cool, and then I was like, well, that was half an hour. All right.
It'll make great content. That's for sure. People trying it out. You can watch people looking stupid with it up to their face.
Yeah, but I think
you can't stream it
because you can't even show the game. So it's gonna be like, I'm playing Breath of the Wild. Like, I'm taking your word on it. I can't.
You have to somehow shove the dock in there, and you have to walk around connected in. Like, how does it look, guys?
Nate can get it though. You can capture that footage, man.
Yeah, I can get some undocked VR footage.
It's gonna just be 2 screens that look like little circles, basically.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be literally jacking into the Nintendo Matrix when he captures footage from having this stupid cardboard, then your portable capture card. Like, how's that even gonna work?
Oh man, I think that's funny because, like, at least with like PlayStation VR, I can still capture footage and everything.
Yeah, it can also just rest on your head.
Yeah, you know what's interesting? I think the Switch with cardboard and everything will actually weigh less than the PlayStation VR.
Yeah, but at least you can hold your hands at your waist. And
yeah, I wonder, dude,
comfort.
somebody's making like a strap or something like something. They're making
Well,
something.
come with one. I'm taking a belt and just wrapping the belt around my head and holding it to it.
I mean, there's some like crappy VR headset already out there for the Switch that like Nintendo Life did a review of, but I mean, no game supported it at the time. So I guess you could just use that. And
I was wondering about that. Would that work? Or I don't know if Nintendo is doing some weird thing with the lenses in there, or some pattern or something. But
I think it's literally just 2 lenses that you put into the cardboard. Well, it depends. I think how the Labo VR works is that you can play with the 2 images, and then you put in the glass lenses that would make it into a 3D VR effect, or there's just a 2D mode.
Okay.
So if you actually had a plastic shell from like Gear VR that could somehow house the Switch, you could actually already strap that to your head.
Yeah, there's a couple of them like that. I think I know Nintendo did one where he had like the full like VR headset, but it was like a tablet one. So people have done it. So I wonder if you just need that, but you need the Labo. No, because that's just gonna be an update. I was saying you need the Labo software, but that part's just gonna be an update.
So yeah, you don't actually have to buy the Labo kit or software at all for Breath of the Wild or Mario, as long as you have something to, strap to your face.
Oh, there you go. So we're good then. All right. Oh, well, good to hear. Good to hear. People can try it out that way. I mean, I think most people still get it because apparently that Labo VR, the goggles, jumped to like the top of Amazon or something for sales. So I think it's still going to sell well enough, but I do wonder if Nintendo's going to take that and say, look how good our VR is selling, our VR headset's selling. I mean, they'll put it next to Vive and everything.
Toy-Con 1 sold like over 1 million. So
they're shooting for the PlayStation VR was 3 million sold, right? So they shoot 4 million. So they shoot for something like that.
You think that they'll release a standalone kit where it's just a piece of cardboard as the strap? It's like you take this cardboard and you just strap it to it.
Dude, they release stickers.
Oh, well, okay, so then we'll get a cardboard
they
strap.
released stickers for your Labo kit, and it was called what was it called? It was some hilarious thing. It would have been like the decoration kit or something. And you open it up, it was just stickers.
This is literally them just recycling stuff around the office at this point.
They're just seeing what I think they're just seeing what they can get away with that.
It's like, hey, don't throw those out. We can turn it into a Labo kit.
Yeah, I'm telling you. It's they'll probably come out with something that you just tie to it, or it'll be like a hole punch and like a rubber band or something when you open up the box.
Office supplies the game.
I don't know, because it makes no sense to hold it up. You're not gonna do that for a while. It just doesn't make sense. So we'll see what happens with that.
It's a way for them to sell some of these kits, and it worked.
Yeah, it does. I think the intrigue and the curiosity is there, but I don't think it'll go beyond, like you said, Nate. Like I don't think anyone's gonna play all the way through Breath of the Wild in VR.
Well, there's no point, because as far as I can tell, it's just going to be a camera. It's just you looking around and like a camera.
It's a third-person camera. Yeah.
Yahoo! I mean, cool. I get to look up at the sky, which I can do with my analog stick.
It's
but this close to your face.
Yeah, at 720p and 30 frames a second in VR.
I don't know, that resolution. Like when they showed it on that trailer, it looked kind of low resolution. Like you could kind of see that. Like
I just
like around the edges. Like
I just assumed that was Twitter.
Oh, okay, yeah. We'll see. We'll see when it comes out. We don't have to wait that long. I mean, the thing's out next week, right? The VR headset.
When is it coming out? The 12th?
20. Well, the VR headset is it this week?
It's the 12th, right? So it's next week.
Yeah, then the update's like the 25th.
Yeah. So there you go. Next week we'll be talking. Next SpawnCast we'll be talking about VR headsets.
And how many people didn't buy one?
Yeah. I'll go pick one out. We'll go try it out. I'm not getting the full thing because they didn't do although I won't buy it and then they'll do Pokemon Snap for the camera. How did they not do that? That would have sold a tremendous amount of those things.
That would be brilliant. If they can release that somehow in the summer, get that out there, that's what's going to really sell it. Even anyone who's hating on it, I see everyone in the chat right now, they're saying, yeah, Pokemon Snap VR, like that's the thing that's going to make them spend $40 to go and get,
well,
VR.
you'd have to buy the edition too, so they would have to spend 60 because the thing's like 20. So they got you for another $20 just for that camera. Yeah, man, telling you.
You're done.
Telling you. Yeah. People would buy that like crazy too.
Oh, I'm in.
And the best part of it all is we get to see Sean try to build the headset.
It's a box. He just has to like insert like.
You say that, but no. Never underestimate Sean in this.
It's a shoebox. How hard can it be?
Prepare to be surprised.
For the 4-hour charity stream.
Oh,
it's gonna be a good stream. When is that?
I don't know. Yeah, we gotta talk to Sean because I want him to get the full kit where he has to build everything: the bird, the elephant.
Can't wait for the elephant.
He does not want to do that. He doesn't.
Of course, he
do
doesn't. But it's for charity.
He didn't want to do it for a whole episode, but we talked him kind of into it, so we have to make sure he follows through.
That's great. That'd be awesome. We'll see. Evan, you said we had a Discord question for the VR stuff.
A couple. With the Odyssey and Breath of the Wild support, do we think Nintendo Labo's VR is in with a shot for outselling the PlayStation VR?
Probably.
I really don't think they're going to sell 5 million.
I don't think they'll sell that many of these things, unless they attach Pokemon to it.
Yeah, not with these titles.
Maybe.
Like, it has to be something significant and ongoing. Like it has to be a Pokemon title, and then it has to be like every upcoming game has some VR support, especially like a Metroid or a Luigi's Mansion or something like that. Would be really cool if that's how they're going to keep selling it. But if they don't, if it's just like, hey, you remember Mario? You can go back and look at it in the VR. Like that's all right. That's not worth the 40 for me to pay. But Pokemon, yeah, absolutely, all day.
They should ask if it'll outsell like the Vive or the Oculus. Then I might be like, yeah, maybe. But then yeah. Go ahead.
I think at $40 though, man. I mean, if they kept on like adding like the most popular titles, even if it was just little things, and then like a Pokemon Snap or something like that, I think it could easily outsell because it's only $40. Because that's the thing, like it's super cheap as hell. I mean, like people bought like the Wii Balance board, a stupid Wii Fit. I liked it, but dude, they sold like 40 million, man. So I mean, like people will buy, like, if you can latch onto a gimmick and it works and it's like cheap, or people feel that it's like a good price. I mean, like people might buy it, but they'd have to, like Jordan said, they'd have to add like a lot of support, like a ton of support.
It'd be interesting if they get to a point where like a year from now or so, where they just start bundling that with the Switch. Like you get a little cardboard VR headset thing that you put together. That'd be a way to move them, but I'd be curious if they can do it for a PlayStation VR, just because of price alone. But I don't know. I think PlayStation VR will probably stick around as the top like VR headset, and then we go into the next year when they'll probably release the second one. That might actually launch alongside the PS5, so we'll see. Yeah,
I think they have a chance to. If Sony comes out strong with a really good revision, a smaller, more condensed, but even wireless, like that would be that's what's gonna win. If it's wireless, it's smaller. Like that's what's going to make it still outsell.
We've been using this current PlayStation VR for what feels like forever now. Like they've had little revisions for HDR pass-through, but for the most part, it's the same thing. So I'm looking forward to what they do with a full-on like PSVR 2. So
very excited.
Yeah. What's you said we had another one, Evan?
This one seems like a little confused, but it seems to be that he thinks they're going to support the VR going way forward into their future. Maybe, who knows? Do you think that if that's the case, we would sort of need the Switch Pro to be able to keep following the VR forward?
Yeah, I'd say so. Yeah, probably. I mean, what's interesting about that though is it'd be mostly about screen, I assume. So it'd go to like a 1080p screen to do that. And even that's kind of low, although I guess that's technically what the PSVR uses. But the Pro would help. So I think the Pro makes sense, even if it's a revision that's smaller, like a new 3DS jump. It would still only help.
Would they still allow it on like the original though?
Oh,
Like,
I mean, sure. They're your eyes, you know. I don't see why. I mean, they still sell a 240p screen in the, what the 2DS XL, 3DS XL, whatever. So I don't think they'll stop, but it's probably not ideal. So, do we have any other Discord questions for VR, Evan?
that's it for VR.
Cool. All right, sounds good. So we also had P5S, the URL. Went live saying that there will be more information April 25th, which I don't know if that's Japan or our time. I assume it's Japan time since it's Atlus's website and everything.
Yeah, Japan time.
So that would probably be on our side the 24th, probably Wednesday, like late at night or something. But I was very interested to see this because we saw them. How many URLs have they registered now? They have so many, right? We know they had P5R, so we see then we know they have P5S, and I feel like they have just a ton of these other URLs, but
they've registered the whole alphabet probably.
Yeah, that's what I was like, are they doing everything? But P5S is now registered, and we're gonna find out what it is at the end of the month. So the obvious thing is the Switch version. Is that what we all think it is?
I've actually received exclusive information that it's Persona 5 dancing into the Switch night. So, I mean, I think that's what it's going to be dancing all Switch night. So, dancing game, Switch confirmed.
Great title.
Oh, man, that would be an interesting reaction to see.
No, I don't know. We'll see.
I think the S is, besides meaning Switch and different from, like Royal, right? Where Royal is actually Persona 5 plus, basically there's more things. I think the Switch version with that S could be like the Dragon Quest game that just has an S at the end of it, just because it's S, and that's how you know it's the Switch version. So maybe the S is just, that's all it is. It has an S at the end of it, and we're all just thinking way too much about it. Or it is some exclusive sidestep or extra stuff just for a Switch port of it that has the game, and then some that's different from the Royal version that's coming out. So who knows?
I could see it getting some exclusive stuff similar to what Dragon Quest is getting.
It could be, especially if you believe what was going on with the Best Buy leaks, because Best Buy had it that Nintendo was publishing the game.
Yeah.
So if Nintendo's publishing it, I would think that they paid for something, because Dragon Quest Dragon Quest Builders 1, Dragon Quest Builders 2, both of those were Dragon Quest Builders 1 was distributed and handled by Nintendo here in the West. Dragon Quest Builders 2, even though that's being published by Square Enix here in the West, Nintendo's publishing the Nintendo Switch version of that game, and there's exclusive content in that game as well. Dragon Quest 11 as well, exclusive content. So if Nintendo's the publisher, if that leak is real, then there's that. I don't think it's just going to be the vanilla version. I think there's going to be something extra.
I wouldn't be shocked if they came to some kind of agreement where Nintendo publishes it in like North America and stuff in the West. But I don't know. In Japan, it might just be Atlus Sega that does it, maybe.
Yeah, it might just be. I mean, it might just be because there's been similar things that happen with other Switch games where Nintendo handles it here in the West, and then
I could see them going out and getting that. Like if it's right there and they're like, hey, if you publish it in the West, we'll do it. I think Nintendo would make that move on Persona 5. They'll probably Persona 5 also crossed 2.4 million units sold, and it's now part of the PlayStation $20 selects. So with that,
were you guys impressed with that? I mean,
was that for Persona 5?
I don't know. They said ship 2.4 million, and I'm looking at it like, man, like I know that's the best that a Persona or Shin Megami Tensei game has ever done. Yeah. But it just seems a bit low for me, considering that game's been on discount for how long. I know it's just going to the 20, but and the install base. I mean, you're talking about like the PS3 too. Like that's it's like PS3 and PS4 install base. I don't know. I just wish it did maybe a little bit better.
If it comes to the Switch, and that's all true and all good, and Joker's coming out, just alone on the Switch, it's going to surpass those numbers, just because everyone who wants to play Joker, everyone who's interested in it, a large portion of those players are just going to buy it just because of the character. I don't think it's going to do the most ridiculous numbers, but I think it has the possibility to just shoot up the charts by itself because of that crossover.
I think the problem you run into with the Persona series in general and Persona 5 is it's already a niche game, and then you also make it a mature rated game. And I think I think you start to really have trouble at retail with that. But
Yeah.
I mean, 2.4 million for that. I mean, that's the best by a lot, I believe, in the Persona series. By like
easily the best. The last one was I mean, if you count Persona 4 Golden plus Persona 4, if you count those two, it's right around in the same ballpark. So Persona 4 is the last one that did anywhere near. I think it's probably in the same ballpark if you count Persona 4 in general.
It's gonna be interesting to see when that comes about, because Persona 5, the Royal is going to get some more information too, right? And then that'll happen, and then maybe Joker, I guess, will get revealed for Smash right around that time. It's hard to say, but
someone just said in the comments, so if Sony's trying to be a little shifty here, it's like, oh yeah, we'll put it on greatest hits, so it's like $20 now. When the full price version comes out, Nintendo like, oh, you want to pay $60 for it? How? We got it for $20. So
I mean, that's
that's something Sony would do. I'd believe it.
It's been out for so long too. I mean, you were able to get it on Amazon several times now for like $25. It was very easy to find it on discount, but them adding it there is good though, because that was help with the game down the road. And then they'll do this, the Royal and stuff, and then they're gonna do well. They have a good thing going there with Persona 5. But it'll be a while before we see Persona 6 or anything like that at this point, I think.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I think the only other thing I thought it could be was something with cell phones. That's the only thing I think of the Persona 5S. But I think most people figure it's something with the Switch. Mostly because we've talked about it here as well, and it's been rumored for what feels like forever.
It's a pachinko machine.
Yeah, it's a machine. Yeah. It could also be Persona 5 Stadia, so keep that in mind.
Oh yes, very important. Exclusive to Stadia.
It could happen. It could happen. And then it could also be, I guess, a PC version, technically, couldn't it?
Yeah, it could. Some of the rumors, it could be.
It could be all of those things.
Yeah, man. Going to the Epic Store exclusively.
Epic Store exclusively for 6 months.
That would hurt some people.
A lot of people.
Evan, what's the Discord question for Persona, man?
Oh, we got a classic will it come to the Switch question here. Persona 4 Golden, what are the chances?
So I heard there are rumors about Persona 5, Persona 3, and Persona 4, right? That are supposed to be going to other spots. I don't know why you would do that, but I guess they could. I mean, if Persona 5 is showing up, you figure they want all the attention on that. I mean, I guess, but
a later release, not now.
I mean, that'd be so weird. You just got Persona 5, and it's like, oh, here comes Persona 4 now and 3. And
we just released Final Fantasies, like all the older Final Fantasies. People are buying them up, so it's like,
true.
Didn't they put out like 8 and 9 before they put out 7?
Yeah.
They can go in random orders.
This should have happened a long time ago, though. Like Persona.
You're not wrong, but
Persona 4 is 2008, I think, for that game. Persona 4, Persona 3, even before that. Like, where were they all in the PS3 era? There's like they were literally making one game. They were making Persona 5 in the whole PS3 era.
Yeah.
Like, you cannot trust Atlus and Sega to sit there and make normal business decisions when it comes to the Persona brand. I mean, look at all the old Shin Megami Tensei games. Where are they? They're making Strange Journey on DS or 3DS or whatever. I mean, like, look at the stuff that they do. So, I mean, I wouldn't bank on them doing anything like.
Oh yeah,
what
happened to that Shin Megami Tensei game?
They're having trouble. It seems like they nicely put. They're having trouble developing it, like HD development.
Got it. Okay.
They have trouble with Persona HD development, and now they're running into a few issues here and there but it's still coming.
Okay, fair enough. And also, I don't know what's up with they keep announcing announcements, don't they? Am I missing? Right?
Yes.
Okay. I thought I was going crazy. I'm like,
announcements of announcements. Like I said, their PR team's horrible. Sega's horrible in so many regards. I can go on a rant forever about this, but like Sega's horrible when it comes to they announce announcements like, hey, we're going to announce something, and then when it comes to the date, oh, we're going to announce something else on another day. This is what they do all the time. They did that all throughout the Persona 5 marketing announcement, and then finally in 2017, oh, here's the game. Oh, by the way, it's delayed from the Japanese release. You have to wait till it was released in 2016 in Japan. Wait, however many months? Oh, we're going to delay that in America. So it's just like they are interesting.
I just don't understand why they having 2 different announcements on 2 different days. Why not just have one big announcement where like, here's what R is, here's what S is. Like, why are they
have an event going on then, I believe. I'm trying to remember what it's called. I thought
Persona
they had
Live, P Live
Persona
concept. Yeah.
They have something going on. Yeah, Jordan. It's some event or something they're doing. Yeah,
It's weird.
Yeah, I think it's like the first day they're going to talk about Persona 5 the Royal. I guess second day is going to be P5S or whatever, and then Joker and Smash. I don't know. Who knows? Let me go through some of these super chats, then we'll get into a few other things, including Jordan's favorite game right now, Borderlands 3.
But not a good topic about it.
Yeah, no, not a good topic.
Not a good topic about it.
Good topic. K19 said, I was more hyped for the Siva Gunner Direct. How did you do that, Spawn Wave? Seriously, I don't know what you're talking about. I didn't do any April Fool's stuff. It was all business on April Fool's. All business. I just reporting on directs, man. That's all I'm doing. But Brian said, should Bioware let go of their management staff? Oh, okay. We're gonna actually, Brian, you know what? That's a good question. We're gonna talk about that soon in a segment coming up. But I will hold that question for that because we're gonna be talking a bit about Bioware and EA because that's a whole thing on its own too. Wishbone said, have you guys signed up for the Halo Reach beta on PC? I have, and
Doing a beta of it?
there's a beta going on. I think they're doing it on Xbox for insiders as well, but they have betas going on. Yeah. So the word is they're going to try to get actually quite a bit of the Halo stuff out for PC this year.
I hope so. I want Reach as soon as possible.
Yeah, that's going to be really cool. That's going to be cool. And then, False Icon says maybe a $300 Switch Pro without a dock. I mean, I could see them selling bundles without docks just to get rid of them to save money, but I mean that Pro is going to either be really expensive or it's going to be a very small jump and it'll be the same price as like the current one. Nintendo just with $1, no message, thank you. Whoop says, are there any games besides 1-2 Switch that use the IR? Yes, Resident Evil Revelations 2 uses the IR for reloading. Trying to think of anything else. What else uses the IR pointer? Or just the IR in general, because other stuff would be gyro, like World of Goo, I think was gyro. And then of course any of the other gyro stuff. But I don't know if anything else uses IR. I think it's just Resident Evil Revelations 2. Maybe somebody in the chat can actually mention another one. I think it's just that. K19 says, I'm getting the Labo VR and painting red, Virtual Boy 2. You know what? There's gonna be a lot of people coloring and doing all kinds of stuff to their Labo, so I don't blame you. That'd be funny.
I mean, closer to launch, they'll probably show off the red stickers you can just put on it.
Dude, they're gonna sell so many stickers, man.
Oh yeah.
And then Francisco says, that is not the point of VR. You don't see the game through Link's eyes. Just move the camera with your head. Not worth it, in my opinion. So that would be, so yeah, you're saying you're like that. When you're looking around, you're basically controlling the camera, which you kind of did the same thing in Astrobot and I believe Moss as well. So there is at least some ways you would use VR for that, but I am thinking they just work this in as the camera. So I get what you're saying on that. But there have been some good third person implementations of VR, but I think this is them just saying free update. Here you go. You can look around in Hyrule now.
Yeah, platformers from a distance, like in VR, like Astrobot or stuff like that, actually are really, really cool ways to play, platforming games. Like I could see it kind of like if it was like the full Mario experience, I can see that kind of working for like a 2D Mario that you're seeing from a new perspective. But for like Zelda, I just have a really hard time picturing how it's going to be like, because you're used to the camera locking on so you can actually see the enemies, but like you're going to be like this a lot, and it's, I don't know, it just kind of seems like it'll be, you get little woozy,
And then Dr. Pep says, I'm out here wishing Persona 5 would come to PC. It kind of is on PC. You just got to emulate it, I guess. But I don't know if, they made a big deal about it showing up on PC through that emulator, so you never know. Maybe they do move Persona 5 to PC. That'd be cool. It would actually do really well on Steam as well. Or do really well in that big store. I don't know. So let's exclusive. Oh man. Let's talk about those Best Buy leaks.
What Best Buy leaks?
Yeah, Best Buy, man.
Never heard of it, son.
Best Buy's getting a bit
taking a page out of Walmart's book.
Getting a bit loose of the secrets over there, man. They first, in the beginning of the week, they leaked Joker's like his look, essentially, his rendering. Is what it seemed. Then they slapped a big sticker over it, essentially, on the the advertisement that was put up, which was really funny. And then they started leaking all kinds of stuff in their system, and people went on after this quick because people started finding them. Wario 64 is finding a bunch of these. We had Link to the Past, which was a weird one. We had Metroid Prime Trilogy, which was pretty funny. I like that one a lot. But what were your guys' take on this? Because then we also had Persona 5 on the Switch, published by Nintendo. I'm only surprised really by A Link to the Past, and we're going to try to determine what that is. But Metroid Prime Trilogy, I know Nate was excited to see that pop up.
Yeah, that was nice.
I mean, you rolled in that thread quick. You're like, it's about time. It's like,
It was about time the friggin' thing showed up somewhere.
He had that copy and pasted in a notepad just waiting.
This should have friggin' appeared like 5 months ago.
Yeah, it should have. But I think we'll see Metroid Prime Trilogy hopefully soonish. So I was telling Nate, I was like, Redemption's coming. It's coming.
Red Dead Redemption's coming? What did you just say?
Oh man,
This ain't an Australian lister.
That's the whole thing. I can't believe that
15 cartridges, dude. I can't wait.
I can't believe that got picked up as much as it did. I don't know if people realize the size of Red Dead Redemption 2 file size.
Like I just said, it'd be like 15 cartridges, and 3 of them are just install cartridges.
They'll give you 15 carts that still make you download half the game.
Yeah,
that game is 100+ gigabytes. So
it's not small. You can, even if they maxed down, got like the biggest card you could get, like it's not even close.
There were 2 Blu-rays in the case for it. So
they finally did it. They're like, you know what? Two Blu-rays for new gen console, current gen.
I mean,
that's crazy. Oh yeah.
Uh-oh.
Did I just break the whole chat by typing what I did?
Yeah, he did.
As soon as I hit enter, we killed. He died.
How's John gonna freeze up on his own stream, man? He's gonna. It's like when I'm late to my own streams, bro.
We're late to this. He breaks his own stream.
We just pulled a soprano.
Now everyone's just a logo.
I see me. I see Evan.
He just came back. OJ's his logo.
Okay, I see OJ now. Okay, wait. Could people? I see Nate. Okay, we're on stream again.
Okay, we're back.
We're on stream again.
We're back. We're back in. I think we're back in.
Are we back on the stream now?
That was nuts.
I don't know what happened.
Yeah, it's my show now.
Were you the only one in?
I snapped my finger and killed this damn thing.
Were you the only one that was like left in the?
No, we all got kicked out, but I apparently was the first one back.
Oh, yeah. I don't know what happened. For some reason, it just stopped. Google Hangouts just like had a loading circle for a while, and then all of a sudden it kicked back. I have no idea what happened with Google Hangouts.
Well, I guess you finally put the term "spawn" into motion.
There you go. See, it's all coming full circle.
It only took 105 episodes.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, what do we think? What do we think Link to the Past was in Best Buy's system? Do we have any theories on what that was?
Do we think it's gonna be in the same engine as Link's Awakening?
Well, I was also asking if it was a mistake, even too. Like, is that just something?
I'm going to entertain it as just a mistake.
Okay.
It's possible, but they already have a regular listing. Like, I understand someone getting confused, but don't they already have a full-on listing for Link's Awakening? So it wouldn't make sense that they would have a second listing completely different.
I mean, maybe it's just like a pre-order bonus for Link's Awakening. You get like a Super NES copy of Link to the Past.
That'd be cool.
And it's just an internal listing. You know, like they have the internal listings for like the steel cases, even though they don't sell them as a pre-order bonus. So it could just be something like minor like that.
They actually do sell those steel books, and they're expensive.
I thought they were like $5.
No, they when they can't get rid of them, they try to drop them low. But when they first come out, you can buy them by themselves for 20. But that Pokemon one still sells for 40 if you don't buy it with Let's Go.
Oh, that's ridiculous.
I know, there's nothing in it. It's just a case, $40 nothing.
It's like buying a Labo.
It's like Labo.
So I'll give you a crazy theory, okay, what this could be. We're of course using the NES online app for our NES games, right? We had all those Super Nintendo games that were teased and then they all disappeared. They were data mined out of it, probably because apparently it was using that same emulator as designed to run out all of those games. And now they're gone. They just disappeared out of there. So either Nintendo realized people were looking at them and poking around and they moved them or hid them or whatnot. I was thinking about this. I said, what if there is still going to be a virtual console, but it's going to exist outside that NES app, and the NES games are specifically for people who subscribe to the online service. And we just saw a card, essentially, one of the ones you can go and buy off of the shelf that has a code that you scratch off, and you go put it into your Switch, and that's one of the virtual console games that we just saw.
It could be. That's what some people were saying on the stream. They're like, maybe it's just like a box type of virtual console type of thing, you know?
Yeah, it's just like a card, and you get it, you scratch it off, and then you pop it in, and they're going to sell these games separately from that NES online app.
It could be. Some people were worried about the whole, I think it was like a Hong Kong leaflet or something, say that Nintendo said they're going to stop the Nintendo Switch online NES games at some point. So, I mean, maybe they stop doing that and then they start doing Super Nintendo ones that you can buy in stores or have it on the online service.
Yeah, I was just trying to pick out anything else that it could be. And that's the only thing I think of was like, oh, maybe it's if it's not a mistake, maybe it's simply like a code that you're buying to then redeem Link to the Past on your system. I figured Super Nintendo games were coming, and a lot of people, we were all figuring that there's going to add them to the NES app as like a thing for subscribers, but I'm still trying to figure out how they would do that without not charging enough for that stuff, because Nintendo, of course, wants to charge quite a bit for some of their stuff. Virtual, I mean, how many times they sell virtual console stuff? So that was something I thought of there, but I mean, at that point, it could just be a mistake as well, like you're saying, Nate. We'll have to see. Hopefully we'll find out soon about that, because that one I'm really curious about what Link to the Past was. But otherwise, Persona 5, Switch, anyone surprised? No, I assume not.
No, Persona 5 and Metroid Prime Trilogy have been rumored for months, so them appearing is kind of nothing.
Yeah,
Wait,
I mean,
telling me they're coming to the Switch?
I mean, Metroid's like done. Like the trilogy thing is ready. So I'm hoping that means that it's, and then Best Buy has in their system and they're showing it. I'm hoping that means that they're just going to have it revealed soonish, but watch it, with our luck, it'll be revealed like in like a September direct or something.
Or like 2021 or something.
I just want the game. I just want the trilogy. Cause I want to see if they make any. Yeah, I hope it's like next week or something, whenever there's a direct.
I mean, that'd be great. But if not, I think the latest we'll hear it is E3. I don't think we'll not hear it by E3. We're definitely going to get it by E3, the announcement of it.
What does this? All right, so let me ask you this: does this leak? Because I was telling Nate as well. Usually when these things happen, it's because stuff has been added to the system, right? And they haven't like sorted it or done anything. It's just kind of put out there because it's automatically added. Could this possibly be pointing to a direct happening in the next week or two with some of these titles?
I don't think it indicates a direct at all. I mean, you get stuff added to a system all the time. It doesn't mean anything. Because I mean, I know some people try to say, "Oh, things are getting added to the system." It's usually 24 to 48 hours ahead of an announcement. Well, obviously, that's already been debunked because it would have been announced by now. But they add things to a system. It could be a month early. Sometimes they're products they think are going to happen, and then nothing ever happens. Because Best Buy or even GameStop in their system, they still have Dragon Quest Heroes 1 and 2 for Switch. Well, it's been 2.5 years. It's still in the system. The game obviously isn't coming over.
So I used to work at Best Buy a good amount of years back, and I actually knew someone who did knew a lot about the internal system. And when they usually put stuff in there that's not announced yet or doesn't have like an official release somewhere, like a Metroid Prime trilogy or Persona and all that, they would type it in as like a code name as a placeholder. Like they would put like P5 S, like they put stuff like very specifically in like coding instead of just like Persona 5 S and type everything out, which is interesting to me. That's the thing that kind of caught me off guard, because usually when I see stuff that shouldn't be out yet, when you can get to a link that shouldn't be out there, it's usually all in coding. You can usually make out what it means, but it's usually all in like abbreviated codings and release dates and all that stuff. So I don't know if it indicates a direct or anything, or if this is just them getting ready for stuff to be announced that they heard is happening. I don't know. I've seen them add stuff before that at one point did exist apparently, but then doesn't, and they end up taking it out of the system. So it could be a million options here. But if we did get a direct this month, there's been a direct every single month. Like it feels like Nintendo is just nonstop with these directs. Like what happened to like every once in a while? Now it's like, boom, here's a Pokemon one, here's a regular one, here's a Nindies, here's this. Like that'd be quite a bit.
I mean, we just always had that indie one, right? And then he won in Cuphead, so it didn't even feel like an indie one.
Yeah, that felt like a big direct. That was really cool. So
I mean, they have to update things. They have to give like a release date to Mario Maker 2.
Yep.
You would assume they're not just going to do it on Twitter because it's one of their major releases for the first half of 2019. So they should have a direct where they can really focus on the game, the new elements to it, hype the game up beyond just, hey, the game's coming out June 21st.
I mean, I'm gonna be honest, the magnitude of that game, they could technically do a dedicated direct to Mario Maker 2. They could say tune in for 15 minutes of Mario Maker 2 or something, because it's, I mean, when that game comes out with Nintendo's new policies of allowing creators and streamers and stuff to basically use the games now without having to worry about getting claimed and stuff, I think it's gonna be bigger than the first one was when that came out.
Absolutely.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
So,
God, so annoying. The first game was so annoying that you couldn't do anything really.
It's going to be out of control, like with that. So I mean, I'm looking forward to that because it's going to be fun. Obviously, I know Bob Wolfden was going crazy when I reminded him of that, so he's going to be playing it a lot and everything. But I'm looking forward to that. I think you're right though, Nate. They're going to do a push on that going into they're not going to announce Mario Maker 2's release date at E3.
No, because the game's going to be out a week
It's out next week. It's out next week. I looked up the one this reminded me of was Mario Tennis Aces. It's smaller than Mario Maker 2, obviously, but that came out like a week after E3 or something, and they announced the release date for that, I believe, in March of last year. So we're like 3 weeks past when that was announced her release date. So if they're gonna tell us a release date, they would probably have to tell us soonish.
I think it may have been April.
Was it April? I can double check.
Because I remember I was in Texas for Retropalooza Houston, and I was with Wood and Jay from the Game Chasers, and we were watching the little direct that they did, and that's when I think they announced it. So I think it was April, but I could be wrong.
I can double check.
So maybe there is a little April.
But there's like a dated article or something on it. Just to
also,
see. But it was basically around this time.
Fun fact, Bob from the Wolf Den, he's tall guy. I was behind him getting pizza at PAX.
Everybody's tall on YouTube, man.
I saw him leaving the convention center.
Yeah, I was behind him getting pizza, but I didn't want to interrupt him from getting pizza.
I just interrupt him, man. Just yell at him.
Hey, you're the Wolf Den?
That's basically what I did.
We'll see him at too many games. Too many games is gonna be fun. Everyone's gonna go.
Dude, it's gonna be great.
It's gonna be a lot of fun
for that. And Nate's gonna be there, right, Nate?
I'm not going to that.
Come on, you gotta go. I gotta let everyone know that you're really
not going to Philadelphia. There's no Nakatomi Tower there, so
it's gonna be fun. We're have a good time. We'll do some kind of panel with everybody. I'll just get everyone on the panel, and we'll like record it or something and put it on YouTube. That'll be fun.
Oh yeah.
So do we have any Discord questions, Evan, before we roll into the next topic?
Specifically for anything we're talking about, not really.
Okay,
we just have like an open-ended one, and we have the Borderlands 3 one.
Hit me with the open-ended one.
Where would you suggest to go if, as an individual, you're looking for information about the news, like the actual nitty-gritty, reading the articles and looking into the proper information, not just getting the aggregate stuff?
where would you go? That's the problem you run into is there's so,
Yeah,
we're in a 24-hour news cycle with video games. That's where we are now in this day and age, which is crazy to think about. From back in the day when we had to get magazines. I don't know, because N4G is terrible. I guess Reddit, because there are so many different Reddit like places for it. You got PlayStation, Xbox, and
but then within Reddit, you got to find the right place, because you're gonna find echo chambers left.
The problem is there's no one good place. It's basically just got to go everywhere. It's so hard now because there's so many different sources and there's so much news nowadays. It's crazy. Before I just say, hey, tune into channel 138 G4. You're good. That's gone now. Oh, you know, you go over to Electronic Playground. Victor Lucas is there. He does good work. There you go. He still keeps Electronic Playground alive, so go watch that. As for news, who knows? You can go anywhere really. It's
just be on Twitter long enough, it'll just pop.
Twitter, there you go. Go to Twitter.
Yeah.
Go to Twitter. Yeah, that's tough. But that's the way it is, I guess, now. So we want to talk about do we talk about Borderlands 3 now, Jordan?
If you want to jump into it, I'm ready.
Okay, so when's Borderlands 3 come out, Jordan?
September 13th, baby.
Yeah,
I was right about that.
He's ready. He's ready.
I was right about it. I'm so happy. I'm so excited.
So this was an interesting time because people went nuts when they said it was going to be Epic Store exclusive for about 6 months, I believe, right?
Yeah, 6 months.
Yeah. So
mid-March, it'll be available on Steam.
It's gotten under a lot of people's skin to the point where Randy Pitchford had to tell people go yell at 2K essentially.
You passing the buck, you know.
Go yell to 2K. Well, 2K made the decision, obviously. Them and Take-Two.
Well, yeah, but their 2K's not on Twitter like Randy is. Randy's the accessible one who literally responds to this kind of stuff.
That's a good point. He responds to people on Twitter and he does magic tricks.
Yeah, he does a lot of magic tricks.
You were in attendance for that, right?
I was there. Yep.
Okay.
It wasn't okay. So the cringiness and the problems that you got to see in the live stream, because I watched the live stream later on, it wasn't like that vibe in the room at all. When the stuff happened, like the mic doesn't pick up a lot of it, but the audience was having fun with the mess ups, and we were like just having a good time there. Like it didn't feel awkward or cringy to us. Like yeah, there were problems, but that kind of felt like the charm of Gearbox anyway. Like there's always like these ups and downs, so it kind of felt natural with it. I don't know how to explain it, but it didn't feel cringy or problematic being there. It was kind of fun every time the video for Borderlands 1, remastered stuttered and kept stopping. We were having a blast with it, and it was just a fun time. It did look bad on the live stream though. Rewatching that live stream, it does make it look pretty bad. And the magic trick lasted a little too long, but hey, I did end up buying the card game because of it. So
it did go on for a long time. Like
it's like 20 minutes.
It felt so long watching
yeah.
That. And then they ran like the trailer through Windows, like Windows Media Player instead of VLC and everything. And
yeah, someone shouted from the back to say, "Play it on VLC."
There you go. See, someone's on it. They're on it. Yeah. So it's going to Epic Game Store, and that brought up a whole bunch of feelings. Now I don't. Evan, you'd be the one here getting it on PC, right? If you were going to get Borderlands 3.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay. So, how does that make you feel that it's going to Epic Game Store?
I mean, it does kind of suck from at least what I would prefer, but at the same time, I feel like with everything going on just in day-to-day life, I'm completely fine with playing it 6 months later for myself, but it's going to piss off a lot of people.
What was the last one we talked about with
Metro.
Epic Game Store? Metro. You're a big Metro fan too.
I haven't played that yet either. I've been focusing on a lot of other stuff.
Didn't The Division do something like that?
The Division. Well, it's also on there like Ubisoft.
Yeah,
like
I got it.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah, but like Metro is like locked down. That's like that's one of your favorite series, Evan.
It was a really good series, and
he hasn't played it. If it was on Steam, you would have played it.
Probably. But
see?
I have a question about this. I don't do PC gaming, but what's the big deal about having an Epic account and just buying the games from the Epic
So-
store.
My problem with it is the history I've had with Epic, getting emails 2 months after hack attempts that have occurred on their actual setup. My buddies had to reverse $200-$300 charges. They get hacked almost every month. Like, it's not good, and they've not been great at talking to their customers about it. On top of that, the talk of all the background stuff, the directory checking and all that, as well as it apparently sends information to an IP based in China, and no one's too sure about what that is, even though a major person on their board is from Tencent because they have 40% stake or something. So there's just like weird little background things to this launcher that make it kind of messed up to people. I mean, I might get it eventually. It's just like,
I have it on my computer to
don't
check it
really
out
care.
because the Shakedown Hawaii thing got sent over as because they're Epic Games
yep.
exclusive. So I got it there and everything, and the store looks terrible. I will say that, but
that's just the shadiness of it. Like when I first heard the Metro problem, I was like, "What's the big deal? Who cares? Just buy it where the game is," you know. But once people actually came to me after we did those live streams and I outed saying that kind of stuff, they're like, listen, besides all that, here's a laundry list of what Steam offers versus what Epic offers. And like, there's a whole slew of things that like make it really worth it to have it on Steam. And after seeing that and understanding that, I can understand why people are angry. And I can kind of understand, like, I knew this would kind of be something with Borderlands because during the live stream presentation, there was a lot of talk of how close they are with Epic and how they love Epic, you know, and how they're working with them. And I was like, oh, this is going to be an Epic Store exclusive. And then, of course, it came out as an Epic Store exclusive. And I was like, okay, you know, whatever. Like, this, it sucks. And I do feel for people who really don't want to get that. So that at the end of the day, it's a bad situation. And I don't know if it's reversible, but
it's kind of pushed. Our first question on Discord is basically, why do we think 2K was completely fine with looking at a chunk of its fan base and going, we don't really care about you? Like, that's,
I don't think they see it that way.
Yeah, they see it as money.
Yeah, exactly.
That's all
they
it
got
is.
a better deal.
well, I mean, if here's why they did it. It was money, but if you take your game and put it on Epic Store, one, you get a much better cut because they do a 12%. 88%, I believe, as opposed to Steam's like 75, 25, something like that. I know there's some like fine print in there, but it's like a 70, 30, 75, 25 split somewhere in there. So you're already getting much more money.
But not if no one's buying it.
But then you also don't have to pay royalties on your engine, the Unreal Engine that they're using, because it is built in Unreal Engine. They don't have to pay those for everyone that gets sold in the Epic Game Store.
I mean, that may be true, but it's like, is that worth the amount of people who are not going to buy it now?
But I mean, it depends on the way you look at it.
Metro came forward and said it was fine because they broke their records. So.
Metro is the best-selling Metro game, and it's on the Epic Store.
I would think that it's worth it because we don't know how much they were paid for it, and it could have been a substantial amount. For a game like Borderlands, it could have been millions upon millions. And you look at that plus the higher royalties. Or like just Unreal Engine, and on top of that, it's just 6 months. Most people are going to buy this game on PS4 and Xbox One.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Yeah,
Randy's been getting his bonuses, so I wouldn't be surprised if they paid quite a bit.
Yeah, so most people are going to buy it on there. So they're looking at it like, okay, well, PC, yeah, they are going to say, well, you know, we'll take this money up front, then chance it, you know, on this here. So I mean, if I was them, I don't know. I might have done the same thing, but hey, it is what it is.
Pretty big. I mean, pretty big test.
I think most indie developers who get like that kind of money put in front of them, if we ran those companies like the little indie studio in the garage, we'd be like, yeah, we'll take $2 million to bring it over for a year. Yeah, let's do that, and we get better cuts. Most people who run those small indie developers would do that if they had a decent enough game to do it. And honestly, if you were Epic and you knew you were up against Steam, I think most people would do what Epic's doing right now if they had the funds to do it.
That's the thing. Like, I understand where the because I've had people tell me like, oh, well, you got to understand, and I'm trying to looking at it from both sides, but like Steam literally has a monopoly on PC gaming. So it's like, how does somebody come in? Like, even if they had all the features and everything Steam has, are you really going to go over to the Epic Store and buy Borderlands?
That's true.
You know, you're just going to keep on playing it on Steam. You know what I'm saying? Like, even if they had everything, are you really going to? No, you're not.
I am curious if I'm really curious if Epic Game Stores, if their features start to get closer to Steam's, if there will be less backlash when this kind of stuff happens. Because Evan, that's one of the things you talked about was just the significant lack of features.
It'll get less and less, but as long as people keep like digging into it and finding things that seem like spyware, that seem like data theft, it'll still have a major percentage of people who are like, screw that. Whereas other people will be like, if you're on social media, you're already getting hacked. Who cares? And it's like, oh, okay. It's a weird way to look at it, but I guess that's fine. They've got a ways to go though, because up till this point, Steam's been constantly adding features without really telling people about it. Like they haven't talked at all about their major streaming service that they've been building in the background of it that's up and working, and it's fine. No, they just don't care about advertising it for some reason. I don't know.
It is weird that Epic Game Store really hasn't accelerated their feature set, like trying to put them on there. It does seem like they're more interested in signing exclusives rather than trying to build up their store. That's something I've noticed too. But
also, what was it? Steam's more compatible with Linux was also the other thing. The games on it are more compatible with Linux, whereas Epic's like screw Linux. So
yeah. I mean, they have
store
Steam
looks
OS.
like trash though, John. I'm looking at the store for the first time. Holy smokes!
Yeah,
this
it's not
is really
good.
bad compared to Steam. This is horrible.
Like Discovery's bad on Steam. Discovery's non-existent on Epic Game Store. I don't even think there's enough games there though, because I think you just scroll through the entire shop very easily.
Yeah, it took me about 5 scrolls to 6, 7, 8, 9. 10.
Yeah, there's
just
not
a few scrolls and you're down at the bottom.
Yeah, no, it's it's not great. But Nate, you don't seem to understand it as much, right? Because the Epic Games Launcher is free. So do you see this, Nate, as somebody who doesn't really play PC games, as it just people not wanting to install the free launcher and just having another launcher?
Well, yeah, I mean, that's my thing. I don't really do PC games. So as far as I can tell, it seemed as though people were just complaining that they didn't want to download a launcher onto their computer to buy a game that's on it because they just didn't want to have that other launcher on their PC. It seemed pretty, seemed like a trivial complaint of, oh no, I have to boot up something different. So it seemed silly.
Yeah. I mean, it's funny you mentioned that, Nate, and you described it that way because I've been PC gaming for a long time, probably longer than a lot of people. Not everyone, but a lot of people. Since there were before video cards. Like we didn't have video cards at all times back then. But I do remember when Steam first showed up. And it was in the early 2000s, and we hated this thing. Steam was terrible. And then they locked Half-Life 2 down, which I am actually surprised. Epic, when you get Fortnite, you don't have to have the Epic Game Store, right? On PC?
On PC, you have to download that.
Yeah, you do.
Is it Epic Game Store? I thought it was the Epic Launcher.
But they converted it. It's literally just
they did. Okay.
Yeah.
Because I know that before they didn't have it, and now it's converted to that. Because we've seen that before where it's locked down and everything. And Steam was terrible back then, and then they were signing deals with Sega and other companies as well to get them on board. And it's interesting. I just see the same thing happening now with the Epic Game Store that we did with Steam way back when. So it's kind of funny. But yeah, Nate, basically you summed it up. It's just the launcher's free and it's another launcher.
Yeah, I mean,
and they're keeping it off of Steam.
I think Epic needs to really needs to take the cue out of Steam and be like, all right, we need to really build something here so we don't keep getting this backlash. We need to build an actual, store setup that runs properly. We need to have all these perks that Steam has that we don't. We need achievements, cloud saves, all this stuff that makes
proper
Steam
support, controller emulation, tons of stuff.
Exactly. More security, more reliability. If they can keep working on that, then when you hear about a game as exclusive on there, it wouldn't be this amount of backlash other than people who just don't want to download something.
But where they're at right now, it sounds like the funding is literally just for games. Like
no, absolutely. They're tossing millions everywhere just to get games, to get eyes over there, but they really need to start using some money right now. After Borderlands 3, maybe you take some of that extra money you're saving up for another game and use it to actually make a good store. It's
going to be tough though. I mean, Steam's been around forever. It's going to be tough for them to catch up in features. Without completely breaking the store like overnight. I mean, some of you guys have dabbled with how like software works and everything like that. And when you add something, everything could just go down. So I mean, there's no way they're going to be able to update it to be anywhere near as good as Steam anytime soon. I think it'll take years to even get where Steam was 3 or 4 years ago. It's going to take a long time.
people jump in and out of the market at different times, and some things stick, some things don't. And like you can even apply it to like consoles. Like consoles were going strong for a while, and then hey, Sony makes a PlayStation 1, then Xbox, here's an Xbox, and now there's 3 main actual people, and then Sega goes down. And then that's just how the market goes. And right now on on PC, it's just been, for the most part, aside from a few websites, it's been Steam. It is just Steam. And there's been no actual competition. And right now, Epic is no real competition other than exclusives. They need to actually, if they want to take it seriously, they need to build the competition. They need to make Steam work harder, because a lot of people do have problems with Steam. And if Epic can come out and start pushing some really good things, that's going to force Steam to get better and make the economy better for everyone.
But the problem is Steam, they're not doing anything.
This will push them if they keep getting the exclusives and they actually build something that's great here. Like the exclusives are not enough, but if they build something that rivals Steam.
Well, let me ask you this. I assume that Valve needs something crazy to happen for them to really do something like a Half-Life 3 or something else.
Yeah,
right.
That's what keeps Steam in business.
And I don't think it's Borderlands 3 because they haven't reacted at all to it.
No,
but
it wouldn't be a game. It wouldn't be a game exclusive. It would have to be an actual like perfected marketplace structured system.
I almost think it could be a game though. Like it could be.
What game?
What if because we already know the relationships there. So we've seen it with Take-Two and everything.
Oh geez. Don't even say it. Don't.
What if Red Dead Redemption 2 came to PC and it was an Epic Games Store exclusive?
Oh my, that would literally destroy the internet. That you think Borderlands 3 has been a problem the last few days online? Oh god, we wouldn't hear the end of Red Dead Redemption 2.
That would hurt. That would hurt some people.
That game would literally be your whole hard drive, though. It would literally be your hard drive. It would be the Red Dead Redemption 2 hard drive. Like
you need to get multiple separate, terabytes of hard drives to run that at like the highest
oh
setting.
My gosh, man! I mean, that game.
Or what if they grabbed Kingdom Hearts 3 and brought it over, and it's only Epic Games Store?
That would just be. I mean, they could. That would just be a detriment, though. I mean, I don't know if Kingdom Hearts fans would even care, to be honest.
Yeah, I guess it would. I guess Red Dead Redemption 2 is the big one.
Yeah, Kingdom Hearts fans, like, we already played the game on the PS4. That's where the majority of Kingdom Hearts fans are on PlayStation. So a lot of people already just played it there.
They would have to do something like that, yeah.
As far as anything cool with Borderlands 3 and PC right now is this whole crossplay thing that showed up in the Microsoft store for Borderlands 3, which has me excited. Because this would be like, I think the biggest. I mean, Fortnite's technically the biggest crossplay game in general, but I don't consider that's a free game. That's a battle royale. This would be a full online. You can play with your friends on any console. 4-player looter shooter, which would be incredible. But is Sony going to play nice if that's real? That's what I'm worried about. Is Sony not playing nice on that?
It'll probably just be Xbox.
PC.
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to think Sony would, but they're, how they are. They're like,
I would love them to, because that would be incredible.
That would be really cool. Incredible. That'd be cool.
That'd be the biggest. I think that'd be the biggest game that's crossplay then, besides Fortnite.
Rocket League, man, come on.
Rocket League. But in terms of like this big, expansive, huge game, Rocket League is great, but it's like stadiums and rocket cars. I don't know. I think that'd be really cool. That has me excited, but sorry about PC users right now.
It's war out there, man. It's tough. People are all over the place.
I want it on PC too. I'm getting it on everything. I want a PC version. But
I do wonder how, because it's interesting here you talk about the Nate, because I do wonder how console users look at that whole situation with Epic Games. So I feel like a lot of them just don't get it. They're just like, I don't get it, but. We'll see what happens. I'm telling you, there's going to be a bigger game than Borderlands 3, and it's going to be ridiculous. And no, it's not going to be Cyberpunk 2077.
It's going to be Red Dead Redemption 2.
Super Mario 3D World.
It's confirmed.
It's going to be something crazy. So do we want to move over to... Actually, let me go through some of the super chats before we talk about Bioware, because that's going to be a whole thing.
Yikes.
Bioware. Bioware is...
Bioware?
Yeah, K19 says 10 out of 10 SpawnCast, probably when we were gone, because the Google Hangouts went down. False icon with $1. No masters, thanks. Shane says, just met the guys from Kinda Funny in New York today. It was super fun. So when are we going to do a SpawnCast meetup? We'll be at Too Many Games
A bunch of us will, not all of us, but a
Nate
bunch
will
of
be
us.
there for sure.
Yeah, Nate'll be there.
We'll definitely get Nate there. It's fine.
God.
We were probably gonna do a panel too, so that'll be fun. We'll have a bunch of people. I'll get Wood, beat 'em ups on the panel. We'll get Sean and Max, and anyone that wants to go too many games can get on there. We'll just have like 20 or 30 people on the panel.
And I'll be right on the far right corner.
Yep, we'll get Jordan. Jordan, if OJ makes a trip, he can be in the panel as well.
I'll be in California.
There you go.
We'll Skype you in.
Forever here in California.
But yeah, it'll be fun. We'll have a good time there, so you can see us there. We'll be hanging out. Jalen with the 15 said, much love to the SpawnCast crew. Thank you, Jalen. I appreciate it. Wishbone, there you go. This is in all caps. I assume this is with what Nate was saying. It's saying Epic Game Store is free like Steam, just download it. Charlie says that Epic actually has a public roadmap. So there we go. It lays out everything. They also provide free online and voice to any game, regardless of store. Regardless of store. Free online, because I know you still have to pay for. There's still a paywall on the Xbox One for Fortnite for some reason. I don't know.
What's going on with that?
Yeah, it's weird that they still do. They do it with all their free to play games still on the Xbox. Very weird. Brian O'Connell just said whoopity poop scoop. So there you go.
Nice, thank you.
Very smart comment.
So let's move over to Bioware and Kotaku, NEA. Kotaku put out an article that essentially called out Bioware for massive mismanagement with their entirety of their Anthem development, and it was something that, because I played through Anthem and everything, I got to the end, and I completely believe this article after playing Anthem. It felt disjointed the entire way through. Did anyone else on here play Anthem, or was it just me? I know Max isn't on here.
I watched a ton of Anthem.
Did Jordan? Did you play Anthem?
No, not at all. Not one
nobody.
bit.
I heard people complain about all the stuff. Like I've heard all the complaints. I've pretty much seen the whole game, just like I've seen all of Sekiro without playing it. But I've watched the whole thing. I've watched people play throughout the whole game and know the complaints and know the issues. And yep, I was same boat as you.
It's everything that we heard is very believable in that. Like I said, I completely believe what happened. From them they wanted to call it Beyond, and then like a week before E3, they found out they couldn't do it, so they shifted to Anthem. Like a week before E3, they weren't allowed to talk about competitive games like Destiny or competition like Destiny, for example. And apparently, the biggest thing is that Frostbite is a problem. Unless you're DICE, I guess. Frostbite is an issue, and we saw it with Mass Effect as well, right? Mass Effect Andromeda.
Yeah,
a little bit.
Frostbite seems to mostly be set up for shooters, from what we're seeing, not third person or anything, but just straight up first person shooters. So apparently, a third person camera didn't exist, and they had to build it from scratch. This seems insane. Like, for that much money to go into that game, and it comes out with what it did, and they tried to fight against Frostbite the entire time, and they didn't want to switch to Unreal Engine, I assume because of money, because they own Frostbite, so they don't have to pay royalties on it. This was a very sad article to read, because it's not Bioware anymore. It's not the Bioware we know, or we used to know, with nice old Republican stuff. What was everyone's take on this, though, when this popped up, and what'd you think about it?
It's a more impressive scale of Alpha Protocol's problems. It's excellent.
That's a classic game.
I hate that game. I absolutely hate that game. He walks like he has something up his butt, or
he does.
It's that game's trash, dude. And I was excited. That game's like absolute hot garbage.
A little bit.
It's weird, and this is back-to-back failures. Well, failure is a harsh word, but these are two games where BioWare has struggled in succession, and the blame comes down to EA and Frostbite. But maybe BioWare is just losing their touch. A lot of talent has left the studio, and people have to accept that.
I kind of went in on BioWare a little bit on the PE podcast the other night, saying that right now BioWare feels like they're a shell of the company they once were, the game development studio they once were, because there was a point when they were even how kind of the ending of Mass Effect 3 was. During that era, like even throughout the early 2000s, all the way up until like 2012-ish, right? They were putting out nothing but really good stuff, and it was really good, and they had a lot of passion behind it. And then something changed. Something happened where it's like, you know what? After Dragon Quest Inquisition, which is kind of hit or miss for some people, I enjoy it. It's not the best, but I think it's better than Dragon Age 2. It's like, hey, Mass Effect, we're finally going back to it, guys. We're going to do it justice. We're going to Andromeda. It's going to be great. And it's nothing like anything else. It's the biggest disappointment. I actually rebought it for $5. I got a physical version with a code inside at Target and clearance because it was cheaper than Origin Store, and I'll give it one more chance. Still have no interest in putting it in anytime soon. But that game is just, that literally made me sit there and cry as I was playing it because it was not anything that I was promised. And then you have Anthem coming out, which is just a game to make money. It's just a beautiful looking game that is not anything like it was advertised, just to sell you on more things. Whether that was BioWare's decision to make that or EA saying you have to make a game like this. This right now, as far as anything they're working on, I don't care about Dragon Age right now. Unless that game comes out and everyone's like, oh, they did great. And then I'll look at it. No interest. I don't think they can do it anymore. They gave Mass Effect to their smaller division. Like, why? It's Mass Effect.
I think my favorite part of the article is they described flying in the game and that they weren't really 100% sure if they wanted that to be in the game. And they apparently fought about it constantly. And they took a demo to Patrick Soderlund one day, and it didn't have any flying or anything. It was just running around shooting. And he was like, this isn't what I wanted at all. I don't like this. This isn't what we ordered. And he was like, you got to go fix it now. So apparently they took it back. And then like 3 weeks later, they go back, they added flying, and it's the same game. And all you could do was fly instead. And he was just like, he apparently stood up and was like, this is amazing. It's just flying.
Hey, flying's fun. Dude, flying's fun.
Like the flying sold this man on it, Patrick Soderlund. Like
that's the best thing about the game. So I can understand it because he's not a type of. I can understand that when I read that part, I was laughing too. But it makes sense that he's like, oh my gosh, this is amazing, and he thought it would be great because for a casual game, he ain't playing games like that, So yeah, then you add flying and the graphics. This is the amazing. Like this is amazing.
Yeah, at the end of the day, how much time do they really give them to experience it? Like, did he just sit down and 10 minutes later go, "This is amazing, do this"? Because like you're not experiencing a full game. You're just experiencing one mechanic, and if it's cool and you're okay with everything, that's just really weird.
Apparently sat down and was just cursing up a storm like, this is amazing, I love it, and go make this. And they're like, all right, we're gonna make that. And apparently like they didn't have missions put together at all by the time we saw it at E3. They still didn't build those.
Jesus Christ,
dude, it's so bad. Oh, it's so bad. If you go and read that article, it's insane that this game even came out. From
what I understand, it seems to me like this Frostbite engine is just, like you said, it's just for first-person shooters, but it's like horrible for RPGs. Like the Mass Effect Andromeda, like no menu system, no menu system, no stuff for RPGs. Like what the? Who builds an engine with no? And then say, hey, use this for an RPG. And this was years and years and years ago. I don't understand EA. Like I don't understand this company. And I get it. You're trying to save money with Frostbite, but when an engine isn't working for something, like it's not, just use Unreal. You'll be okay. You'll make up the money with more people actually buying your game, and you'll save money on development time because Mass Effect Andromeda would have been out years before. And so you'll save money on development time. You'll save money on so many different things. You'll make a better game. They need to stop being so, I don't know what's the word, pompous, like so confident. I'm not sure what to think about it, but they need to stop thinking that you have to use their own engine because, like, look at what Square Enix is doing, right? They're doing the same thing. Look at what Bandai Namco is doing. Look at what some of these other companies are doing. They're like, you know what? Unreal Engine is the best one. We'll use some of our engines for some things, but when we need to build a game and we need to make sure that we make it on time and everything, like at least try, we've got to use Unreal Engine or something like that. Dude, it's like
this explains so much to all the problems I had with it, because like I haven't played Mass Effect on PC, which now I do have it for PC, which you can control the shooting obviously a lot better than a controller, but there was a problem because you said they had to make a third-person camera. I noticed right away when playing Mass Effect on a controller on PlayStation that there was something wrong with the aiming. Like, there was something wrong with how the physics work when you were in firefights, which made the game almost unplayable for me. And that explains so much because they can't get it to work right. That this literally is the problem. Frostbite's the whole reason that game doesn't work. I am so mad right now. I'm trying really hard not to say every curse word in the book right now.
If it was Unreal Engine, it would have been Mass Effect 2 and 3 built on the newer, Unreal Engine stuff are definitely much better games than Andromeda. Like by shooting, physics, like everything is much better. And that's Unreal Engine 3.
Dude,
you know,
brackets away. They are so far on different ends of the spectrum, dude. Mass Effect 2 is god tier gaming. Mass Effect Andromeda is literally in the toilet next to my excrement.
Mass Effect 2 was amazing when that game came out.
And it's still, Mass Effect 2 still plays actually pretty damn well today.
It's fantastic, and it always will be.
And that game's going on what, 10 years old next year?
Yeah, next year, 10 years old.
It'll be 10 years old next year. I mean, you were once again 3 years old when that game came out, Jordan. So
I was all 3 years old, and it was the best.
The problem is it doesn't sound like Frostbite's not going to go away. Like, it's not going to be like, okay, yeah, we'll just use Unreal.
Yeah,
it's not. That's
well,
kind
for
of a shame.
RPGs, they should. They should keep their because like Frostbite's good for what, FIFA, Madden, whatever. They use it for sports games and all that. But for RPGs, like it should be Unreal. You don't. I mean, like look at the crappy Luminous engine. They built an engine particularly for RPGs, and still isn't a good engine.
They're still not even using it. Yeah.
I got really scared because there's a certain other thing that may be coming out from EA later this year, and if that's on the Frostbite engine and it's a third-person game,
oh no,
I'm worried. Oh my god, it's all I want from this year to be good besides Borderlands 3. And if it's on Frostbite and it's running like any of the other Frostbite games have there in third person, oh man, this. All right, let's move on. I don't want to. I'm gonna break something in a second.
You're jinxing it. They're gonna switch right now. Jorgensen's gonna be like, all right, the call's gonna make the call.
So wait, does that mean that Skate 4 is going to be?
I never said nothing about no Skate 4, but
does that mean Skate 4 is going to be in Frostbite?
I swear to God. Oh my God. I need to cool down. I'm legit I'm having a panic attack right now, dude.
Jordan is gonna go skating at 4 a.m. You're going skating at 4 a.m.
It'll help. I'm chugging this G Fuel, man. Not a sponsor, but oof.
I'm telling you, it's gonna pop up, man. The logo's gonna pop up. They put Need for Speed in Frostbite?
Oh, that's a good question. Was the last one in Frostbite?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was, right?
Yeah, that's what I mean. They put Need for Speed. They're gonna do Escape 4 with that, man.
Oh my God, no.
So can I ask you guys a question real quick with this? I know we don't have too much time, but like Frostbite, Dragon Age Inquisition, that was made in Frostbite 3.
Yeah. That was
so what is the issues here? Why is Dragon Age Inquisition not having the same issues as some of these other games?
It's not a shooter.
Well, no, it's RPG. They've been having issues with RPGs.
I mean, it wasn't the best Dragon Age game, but
it's better
critical
reception wise. It's leagues better.
I mean, it won Game of the Year, right? So,
it frauded its way to Game of the Year.
Yeah, sure, but like, I don't know what the problem is. I don't know. I'm just so mad right now. I'm just gonna shut up.
Does it make you mad just telling you about?
I'm getting the more it's sitting in my head. You know when you think of something and the more you keep thinking about it, it just makes you more mad.
Don't worry, The Sims will run fine.
I can't wait for The Sims 5.
In Frostbite, it'll be perfect. Sims will drown even though there's a ladder in the pool.
Okay, that was walk through a wall, knock over the whole building. It's great.
Okay, that was the old version of I think it was Frostbite 3, right? There's a new one, Frostbite 4. Is there Frostbite 4?
Yeah, they've done several iterations, I believe, of it.
Okay, so maybe Frostbite 3 didn't have as many issues, and then Frostbite 4 is what's causing the issues. Maybe that's what.
Well,
it is.
Yeah, because if you consider what the early Frostbite was Bad Company 2, and that for a lot of people that ran great. Yeah. And the next Battlefield, I think, was they upgraded the next engine, and for a lot of people that was garbage for a very long period of time.
Well, DICE seems fine. DICE is good with Frostbite. They don't have any issues. It's just they're trying to make everybody use it. And it's like. It doesn't work for every single game, but they want every game to work. It's just EA basically trying to save every penny they can, and
then still lay off people.
Yeah, and still, but they don't care. Like quality isn't as big of a deal as budget, I guess, to them. To be honest,
this is what's going to cause the crash.
Yeah, because I mean they'll fix Anthem over time. It might
who's going to care about it? Yeah, who's going to care about Anthem in 2 years when they're already going to be like, "Hey, Anthem 2."
Well, I'll get an email. Hey, you have a free copy of Anthem waiting for you.
I mean, they might be able to save it. I mean, look what Ubisoft did with Rainbow Six Siege. At first, people were like, "Yeah, whatever." Now that game is more popular.
That was more community, though. Like this is intrinsic to the engine itself, whereas Rainbow Six was trying to change the way people perceived it.
People really like Rainbow Six Siege. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I haven't played that game in a long time. Let's check that out again. That was a good game. Yeah, it was fun. Do you have any other Discord questions, Evan?
No, we are clear.
We are clear. Oh, very nice, very nice. I guess we can finish up with Ape Escape.
What?
Right? Tell me you're excited to hear about Ape Escape.
Not really.
Mobile game incoming. Let's do it.
Their website updated for some weird reason after about 7 years.
Wonder
No
what
one
it could
knows
be.
why.
They're testing
Yeah.
an intern, see how he could do.
No
been
one knows.
It's been updated completely, and people are now wondering: is there some kind of Ape Escape game coming?
I mean, possibly. Keep your eyes peeled.
Could Ape Escape
Oh.
live in this day and age? And what's Jordan saying? What's Jordan saying?
He said, keep your eyes peeled.
Keep your eyes peeled.
Dear
Trying
God.
Hey, it wasn't even meant to be a pun at first, but
There you go.
just keep on the lookout. They shouldn't have canceled their PlayStation experience last year, is all I'm saying.
There you go. See, Jordan letting us know that Ape Escape, something's happening there. Ape Escape VR, that's a good one.
That'd be interesting.
Ape Escape on mobile phones.
That'd be dumb.
That'd be
No
dumb.
thanks.
No,
thanks.
I was thinking if they're gonna do it, they do like something like a bit lower in budget, like they did Medieval, and do something with Ape Escape like that.
Yeah.
That'd be cool. Jordan just silently
Be cool.
confirming.
No, just saying it'd be cool, dude. I'd buy it.
I would too. Yeah, I would pick up that just for the nostalgia feels and just see what they can do with it. Man, that game that was so long ago. It was when the DualShock controller first came out. I remember playing that thing. Just couldn't play it without those two sticks. Let me go through. Do you guys think Ape Escape's coming back, and do you think it could actually live nowadays?
If they convert it to something a little more like modern, maybe they just reuse like the visual aesthetic of it, maybe try to keep the spirit of it alive, but then adjust it for the more modern gamer. Maybe.
Well, there has been a lot of remaster, remakes, reboots been going around, so that it could be something along the line of that.
There you go. Okay, you heard it here first. Jordan letting us know.
Didn't say anything. Not one thing.
You said zip.
I said zip. Oh yeah. No, I'm kidding.
Let me go through some of these super chats here before we finish up. Lycon says for the first time it's not fully EA's fault. That is correct. It was just mostly conflict between EA and Bioware the whole time. It's interesting. You should go read that, Jordan, and just try not to pass out from rage. But you should go read that article.
I can handle it. I don't know if I can handle it.
Live stream it. Live stream you.
I mean, I'm going live after this, so maybe
go
maybe
live
we'll
stream you just reading it. And
God, I'm gonna get so mad.
You will get really mad, but it'll be a really fun thing to watch. Wait, you're going live right after this?
Yeah, but I'll wait till it's my turn when we're doing our outros to say.
No, we'll send people over there whenever you set that up and get a link going.
Yeah, thank you.
Savvy says, hit the like button. These guys deserve it. I don't know. See, we're only at 490 likes right now. So something like 600-700 likes. That's pretty much impossible at this point because
it's so close to
5 minutes. Yeah, it's possible. So that's not going to happen.
Everybody's talking about this whole Wolfenstein thing, John. I don't know if you wanted to talk about that.
What happened with Wolfenstein?
The Switch version only comes with the download code at retail. There's no purchase.
Oh, no way. Are they really doing that?
Yeah.
That's definitely a cart cost issue.
Wow, that's rough, man. What?
You want price parity with other versions, there has to be a sacrifice.
You must
I will admit
Small child.
I'll admit I had a lot of questions about that price at $30 when they showed that. That caught me off guard a bit. So they're going to be selling a box with a digital code. Yeah, yeah, looks like it. Is that on their website completely?
It was on GameStop. Wario64 put it out there on Twitter. It just says like there was a little. It says no cartridge for this game. Code will be packed in box. Internet connection required on the product page on Amazon and GameStop.
Wow. Yeah. So no cartridge included.
Yeah, no cartridge included.
Wow. That's how big is that game? Do we have like a file size on that thing? I haven't even checked.
I can check right now.
I mean, it's $30. So, I mean, we just saw We were just talking about Dragon's Dogma's $30, right?
Yeah.
Or Wolfenstein Youngblood.
When's Youngblood come out?
It's July. In July.
Cool.
In July, yeah. I wanted to see on Steam even, but I don't see any system requirements on Steam. So
When's that VR, that Cyber VR Wolfenstein game coming out? So no really say on that.
They announced that in the...
yeah, it's a shame that it's we have to download that now. See, I mean, what's the point in buying it physically then?
Nothing
That's
outside
that.
of just shelf space. Just like if you're there, nothing.
You just want the cart. You just want the
box art,
I guess.
Yeah, I mean, if I was actually into Wolfenstein, I'd probably do it just so I can get the box.
It also gives it better like exposure.
Yeah, exposure. That's
You're seeing it on the store shelves instead of just the clusterfuck that is the eShop.
And it costs them next to nothing. They just have to pay for the boxes.
I personally love. I mean, I buy games just for box art. I bought Shadow of War. I have no interest in playing it, but I like the box art. So that's something that I would do.
Nice.
You know, just to buy it. I mean, so
They actually fixed that. They actually fixed that game now. So now it's actually a good playthrough.
Isn't it on Game Pass?
Was it more? I thought Mordor was on Game. No, am I wrong? Is it?
Did they put the second one on Game Pass yet?
I'll have to double
they
check.
did.
Usually I check Game Pass every few days. I didn't check it in like the
Far
past.
Cry New Dawn has really cool box art too. How about that?
You bought it, didn't play it yet?
No, I didn't play it yet, but I bought
I played a little bit of it. It's Far Cry.
I always buy cheap games at Best Buy whenever I get that have cool box. That has to have cool box art though. If it doesn't have cool box art, I ain't buying it.
I wonder how many people are going to be completely like. I wonder how many people are going to go to GameStop, get it, and then not realize it's a code when they leave with it.
Good amount of people, probably.
That's going to be interesting.
I mean, I give people credit that they're gonna have the intelligence to know. I mean, Cuphead on the Xbox One was released as a code in a box, and
Yeah, and there are people who are
like a new concept.
Yeah, and people posted all over the place on Twitter. They were like, "It's just a code."
All they had to do was turn the box around, and it said, "This is a code in a box."
But if you
Hopefully
go to
it's
like
not
a
a code on
Walmart, if I
Switch.
go to Walmart and I say I want that one out of the case, I never get to hold the game until I have bought it.
Well, before they ring it up, say, "Can I look at the box?"
That's when they give me that side look, and they're like, "You need to look at the box for."
Yeah, Walmart is crazy. Walmart's psycho with the games, dude. Like they will grab it, they'll go straight to the register.
Oh man.
Walmart's crazy, man.
Then King Jones says, remember Bioware also made the mediocre Sonic RPG game way back.
That was
Sonic Chronicles.
That was
Oh,
still better
Sonic
than
Chronicles was
Andromeda.
all right.
Still
Yeah,
better than
that's way
Andromeda.
better than Andromeda. I play that game any
Still
day over than Andromeda.
It was. I think they used the same engine for Elite Beat Agents for that game.
Oh
Wanna hear
man.
something sad? I would play Anthem way before I want to play Andromeda.
Ooh, I don't know about that.
Andromeda's
Andromeda's a bit fixed more. They fixed it a little bit more.
Not fixed in my heart.
Dude, Anthem's trash, bro.
I'm comparing garbage and a little less stinkier garbage.
Hey, at least there's a somewhat day-old pizza inside the Andromeda garbage.
Yeah, but there's like a couple-hour-old pizza in the Anthem garbage.
No, the
so
Anthem is more garbage.
I mean, they both. Okay, listen, they're both trash.
Anthem-
Okay.
Anthem's undercooked pizza.
Yeah, I'll take an undercooked pizza than a day-old
Hey
pizza.
man, I don't think so.
I don't know about that. I take a day old pizza. Over
If you played Anthem, bro, I'm telling you, you ain't seen Anthem. Anthem is bad.
You should go get it, Jordan, and try out Anthem.
Try
At least
it
I
out.
have no. At least my thing is, I have no like previous ties with Anthem like I had with Mass Effect. I think that's what hurts me more is because Mass Effect I loved. Anthem, it's just a game. Like I have no ties to it whatsoever in my life.
Well, just like in general speaking, like Andromeda has way more content. Andromeda has like it runs better on the Pro. I mean, there's some things here and there. They had a 4K update, and they also improved like the visuals of the game and everything. Like they did a lot of cool stuff. They didn't do enough, obviously, with Andromeda.
No,
they tried.
It crushed me, dude. It's. I'm surprised you're not more like this because I know how big of a Mass Effect fan you are.
Oh no, I ripped that game to shreds.
I know, but like you're still gonna pick that crap over just trying Anthem once.
Well, in terms of content and everything, Andromeda has just.
I'm just saying, pick it up and play it once. I'm not saying go through the whole damn game.
Well, Andromeda or Anthem?
Either. Just picking it up and playing something for like an hour. Like, what would you rather play right now if you had a chance to play one of those games for an hour? A game you haven't played before, or Andromeda again?
Oh well, a game that I haven't played. Well, obviously the game that I've already played Andromeda. So,
but would you go back to it? Like I'm saying, if you had the choice, for like an hour of gaming, would you go and play Andromeda again, or try something you haven't?
I did go back to Andromeda because they have the 4K update.
You're a weak man. You may look big, but you're a weak little man.
I am actually very weak. I can't bench that much.
Why don't we last thing here. Octopath Traveler appears to be heading to PC. Was rated in Korea.
Yeah, don't we actually owe people more time on this cast because you decided to like disappear for 10 minutes?
Hey man, Google Hangouts decided to disappear for a few minutes.
Evaporated.
Yeah, it appears it's heading to PC. It was rated in Korea, which is interesting, but we don't really know if it's like a worldwide release because they did mention that the publisher is Bandai and they would publish that in Korea, I believe. So now we're kind of sitting here thinking it's a worldwide release, but does that mean, I guess, that it was kind of a timed exclusive for Nintendo with some sort of console exclusivity thing put into play and they don't care about PC, or it's interesting. And you guys think it's Epic Games Store, of course, exclusive?
Do you think it's a Microsoft Store exclusive on PC?
Maybe it's a
deal thing.
Discord store.
Discord exclusive.
Twitch Prime exclusive.
Twitch Prime
Epic Store only.
That'll actually be really cool to see on PC because you get all the settings and stuff turned up and everything, and that art style already looked really good. And then you blast it at like 4K at like 120 frames or whatever. That game's probably not gonna be hard to run or anything. That'll be neat. I'll be curious how that game does whenever it gets announced for PC because it appears it's happening. Usually don't get ratings unless you're releasing to see how it actually does. It'll be cool because that, of course, they're working on other stuff now, so that's just more funding for them anyway. There you go. You can get it on PC, I guess, whenever they announce it. Instead of Switch if you wanted to get it there. And I will be curious because did you guys see the Civilization cross save stuff that they did?
I did, yeah.
I wonder if they do that with something like if Square would do that with something like Octopath for the Switch and the PC. That'd be cool.
Sounds like work.
Yeah,
it sounds like work. Sounds like work. That was cool to hear though, that you can tie it to your 2K account and you can move between PC and Switch for Civilization 6.
Cannot give Square Enix that credit. Hell no. It sounds like work. They're not going to do that.
Like work. Man, I think it'll be on Steam. I don't think it'll be an Epic Games Store exclusive, but you never know. Epic's in the buying mood right now, so it could be.
They got all that Fortnite money to spend.
Dude, I'm telling you, they got a lot of money, and everybody uses their engine now.
Yeah.
So they're
regardless if it is on the Epic Store or not, they're making money out of your game.
They got
they're getting money.
Big bump from Kingdom Hearts, man. And Kingdom Hearts sales, Final Fantasy sales, all it was just pouring in, man. People using Unreal Engine, like Bandai Namco, all of those games, Dragon Ball Fighters, like everything is using Unreal Engine, man. Like everything is using Unreal Engine. So it's nuts. Heck, getting Yoshi sales.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah,
Yoshi sales money. I mean, this is everything.
It's interesting here. Nintendo wanted to do something with Unreal like that with one of their first parties. So usually they like to build their own engine and not pay for a middleware thing, but hey, they did it.
I think they got spooked from the last time from Yoshi's Woolly World and the problems they had with that. So they're like, let's not do that this time.
Let's just give them an engine that they know that they can work with and everything.
Exactly, because remember Woolly World was like announced like in 2013 and like it disappeared because they were having trouble with it.
Yeah.
Like disappeared. Like just give them something easy, please.
That makes sense though. That makes sense.
Well, the new Yoshi it's fantastic. It's beautiful. Like all the little details and stuff they did in that game is like the developers had a great time making that, it looks like.
Yeah, I wonder if they just had more time to do those kind of things as opposed to trying to basically build an internal engine or use one. I wonder if that just gives more time. Yeah.
But you put more time into the art than the actual engine. So
it's great, especially when you see how they do the like boss battles. Like in any Yoshi game, they have the magic spell, but like the way it builds it looks like stop animation. It's gorgeous. Oh, I love it. That's cool.
All right, cool. Well, I guess that's going to do it here tonight. Let me go around with everyone here. We have OJ. Where can they find you, man?
Yeah, you can find me right here. YouTube, Player Essence. You can check out the channel. I do lots of stuff on Atlus and Persona and Japanese games and live streams. I live stream every single day. And I do Q&As and all sorts of stuff. It's kind of crazy over there, but it's a lot of fun. Cover news and all that. So if you're into that type of stuff, check out the channel. We're giving away another Switch too. We already gave away one, and we're giving away another Switch. So subscribe to the channel.
There you go. There you go. And then Nate, what about you, man? Where can they find you?
They can find me on Twitter at DirectFeedGames. From there is a link to my YouTube channel where I do direct feed footage of games. Have a lot of footage coming up in the next week or two. So you're looking for stuff that's coming to Switch. Over the next couple of weeks, you will find some footage there in the coming days.
Is there any, if there's anyone you guys, oh wait, we're going to do Jordan, right? Jordan, you're setting up a stream?
Yeah, I'm streaming right after this.
There you go.
Shortly after it.
You guys can raid Jordan. Jordan, where can they find you, man?
Well, you can always find me on YouTube at Jordan Fringe. Content's coming back soon, but I've been streaming every night on the link that's there in the chat at twitch.tv/Jordan Fringe. I guess when we start the stream, can you send me a link to the article when we end here? So, I'm going
Twitch
to,
just
if this is what everyone wants to see, me get really angry, I will start off the stream reading this article with everyone and probably getting profusely angry. And then we're going to probably play some Pokemon Let's Go. I open a lot of Pokemon cards on stream as well. So we're going to do that as well. So probably stream for a few hours on there, but I will start with that article for everyone here who wants to see that.
I put it in the group chat for you there.
Thank you. I appreciate that. We're gonna read through that article about 10 minutes after the stream ends. We'll start up there. So go ahead, give it a follow. Come watch the stream. That's what we're gonna be doing. So,
dude, that is gonna be insane. Yeah. And then Evan, what about you, man?
Just follow me on Twitter, Kimmerix Project, just like the name you occasionally see in chat over there. This name here, and I post anything really, conventions, work I'm doing, if we got videos coming up or if something's happening for the channel, either mine or SpawnWave or anything really happening. So yeah, just follow that.
I do want to add, guys, please make sure you guys check out Evan's his live streams. I was there. I finally caught one live and it was fantastic. So you guys make sure you guys follow him, and his art stuff is amazing. So I just wanted to say, it was really fun watching you. Yeah, I finally caught it live. So
his streams are great. Absolutely.
Yeah, I try to talk to people, even if I'm staring intently at something. I try to follow chat. So don't worry.
I watched your streams as you were finishing up. One of the coolest ones was watching you finish up the shirt and putting everything in there. It's really cool. It's a really good job on those streams.
Good stuff, man.
Cool. All right, that's gonna do it here for episode 105. We'll see you guys next weekend. Maybe we'll have a Nintendo Direct or something to talk about. Maybe, I don't know. You never know. You never know.
Yeah, I wouldn't count on that.
Maybe the week after. The week after that. All right, cool. Sounds good, guys. We'll see you next weekend.